pay off already. He's gathered it back up, but what kind of damage has been done to that 25 machine?
I don't really see any tire smoke yet, Vince. That's be the main concern. Oh, into the wall he goes.
Had to have a tire down, Michael.
Hold it up, hold it up, hold it up, hold it up.
Still green, but surely going to go caution here unless he can get that down out of the way.
Look how much damage. Even the left rear fender is bent, Phil. That's could be end of the day for the 25.
I was talking to Matt down in the garage area an hour ago, and he was talking about how much fun he's having here in the Truck Series and what a great truck he had.
Involved.
Look at this push. That's DiBenedetto getting on the back of Friesen, really accelerating down the back, taking the lead, and then he decides to flare out, and this is where it goes wrong.
It's got a little bit loose. You saw the back end wiggle just a little bit, and he's so close to the outside wall, he had no room to catch it, Michael.
And he might have very well clipped the back of Stuart Friesen, which upset the front of his truck. See if he gets, as he goes by, trying to go by Friesen, right there, that little bit of a touch could have upset that truck.
So he'll have to dig out of a hole early, from bad to worse for Haley.
Rough start to the 22 season for Haley. As you can see, fire on that left rear.
That has to be some fluid right there that caught on fire.
She'd indicated it was not getting any better after.
Look at this line of trucks that are, and one of them's into the wall.
That's the 9.
Blaine Perkins.
Blaine Perkins.
Hold your line, hold your line.
Trying to gather it up and make sure he doesn't collect anyone in the process as he's getting off the track and heading to pit road.
He was running 23rd. I talked a bit wide coming off.
Maybe squeezed a little bit by that truck on the inside.
Welcome back to Atlanta Motor Speedway. Camping World Truck Series racing on FS1 under caution because of an incident involving Blaine Perkins. Some trucks have taken the opportunity. The 20 of Matt Mills.
There you can see Mills, and there's stuff flying everywhere from underneath that truck. That's a brake rotor more than wide.
Fogelman wants to be anywhere but there, doesn't he? Give me the top, give me the bottom, anywhere but in the middle, and there's a contact and an accident.
Was that
Looked like Lawless Allen there in the 45.
Dean Thompson. Michael, we just talked about him.
Jack Wood
also involved.
Another truck that had been up front.
Tough start this year.
Eckes
Jack Wood.
Got some contact as well. Lawless Allen and deep.
Loose down there? Yeah.
Yep, sure does.
Ran into Eckes. That's a shame.
Lawless Allen also came along with. Ooh, Matt Crafton narrowly avoided him and Jack Wood.
Looks like Wood may have checked up and then gotten hit from behind.
You see there, Phil, he lost the nose at first. The nose went up off the white line, and then by trying to correct it and pull it down, he lost the back end then. So,
like Jack got, Zane ran in the back of Jack Wood as they were trying to slow down.
Watch him right on the white line, and then it starts to slip up and bam. That's just experience on these big, fast mile and a halves. It doesn't matter. We're talking Atlanta here, Vegas, Texas. You run these kind of speeds, the air is just different than a short track racer has ever felt.
How about Matt Crafton narrowly missing this one?
You're just too wide with 3. 22 is going to hang with you, whatever you do. Be easy, 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 easy. Stay low, stay low. Come middle, come middle, come middle. Watch your inside.
What about the vet? What about the vet Crafton? Threw it up in third gear just in case he needed a gun. But man, it looks like Daytona and Talladega from the 90s where you just really hung on and slipped and slide.
Infinger still leading the way, and there's Tate Fogelman going around. Caution is out.
Nice save, not letting that truck go back across the racetrack towards the outside wall.
Running 15th at the time.
Now everybody's in their window right here, guys. So I think we come to pit road.
Laps down from having to come in under green. Jordan Anderson
caught in the middle
with a handful too.
Does he try to crowd down? Wow, usually you're crowded, you're the one that gets turned around, but he crowded down and spun out Tate.
So fortunate for Fogelman, though, that he didn't hit anything.
He did a really good job here. Watch when he gets turned around.
off the brakes.
See his wheels were turned to the right, and then he turned them back to the left to keep that truck going straight with all the
Intent. Let's just log some laps. We still got over 45 laps to go. Let's log some. I'll play around with the gas pedal. I'll back up to the truck behind me and learn, but I'm not going to take any chances.
Accident. Jordan Anderson again, and it's Tate Fogelman again. Boy, it's been a tough day for Jordan Anderson. Had problems in practice. Problems here today, and Tate Fogelman, more significant damage this time. Up, take a look. Here's Gray in that black
top left
15.
of your screen,
yep.
just a little bit of a scrub there.
And there you see the 30 truck on the bottom as Gray continues to scrape along the wall, and he comes down the track, and I'm sure the 30 gets.
There's Jordan Anderson in the 3 and the 30 of Tate Fogelman.
Oh, Jordan just wasn't quite clear, and
There you have it.
That was actually the next corner,
yeah.
or maybe even the next lap, right?
Right, the next corner, I
Yeah.
think. Gray lost his momentum, was slowing down. Jordan thought he had him cleared and didn't. Almost did.
Yeah.
And
Tate,
then the
an
3
innocent
collects the
bystander.
30 in the process. See it one more time. There's,
You know, as in that part of the racetrack for Tanner Gray, he had no idea Jordan Anderson was going to come up. He just, you know, he thought he would hold his line. When he did, it was too late to do anything about it.
well, that rear end really slapped the wall for Tate Fogelman. It was a harder hit than it looked initially. The beginning.
Inside grant bumper now.
Before the race, and there you see Wright continuing
That's that tire
with his
that
issues.
we
And
said
the
was gonna
caution
go
has
down.
come out. Yep.
I should have been his spotter. Can't run into the wall that hard, have that much.
There's Chris Wright up there at the top of the screen.
Kind of knew that was going to happen. Remember, these are still metal bodies on these trucks. The composite bodies of the Xfinity cars, and now the new next-gen Cup car, a little more resilient.
The lead. Smith trying to go back to back after winning at Vegas. Heim goes to the bottom.
With you pushing outside door.
Getting some
Bumper,
help
you're
from
clear,
John Hunter
clear.
Nemechek. New leader, Corey Heim.
Wow.
Chandler Smith left on the outside. Here comes
Four,
Thorsport.
half off 4. The
Ben
2 by 2 behind
Rhodes
him here.
in third or in second, trying to go to the outside of
One back down.
Nemechek.
One back.
But it's going to be Chandler Smith or Corey Heim. Corey Heim wins at Atlanta.
Let's go! Awesome!
That was incredible.
First career win.
Great job, buddy.
Wow.
I'm so proud of you. Nice work. Great job, guys. Thanks, everybody. KBM, Kyle, everybody. This is a big win, right?
Atlanta Motor Speedway, the first for incident. It happened on the back straightaway. Among those involved, Jade Buford, who was having an unbelievable day in the 51 of Jeremy Clements. This is coming off of turn 2.
Oh, it looks like Jeb's going to try to get in the middle of 3 wide here. Maybe didn't quite get the room where he thought he had. 48's going to spin around. Nowhere for Jeremy Clements to go. Nice job for the rest of the field avoiding this.
I really thought if we had a crash today, it would turn into a big one because everyone is so bunched up. But as you said, Brad, really nice effort by all these drivers to avoid making this a huge incident that took out a bunch of cars.
Yeah, the backstretch is fairly wide here, so if there's an accident, you seem to be able to get around it here. And the Xfinity drivers here have done a great job all day of not just avoiding wrecks, but you know, not starting them to begin with. Ooh, you see Jade's track bars broke in the back. That's probably going to put him out for the day.
Road 51 laps to go for the Xfinity Series at Atlanta.
Got a nice Gibbs versus Childress showdown here on the front rows. Teammates working together, both sides.
Yeah, 3 Gibbs cars up top. Bumper to bumper to bumper.
Big day for Brandon Jones, coming off a runner-up finish in the 19. This is his home track. Grew up right here in the Atlanta area. And behind him, give a call, Joe Graff Jr. Great strategy play for them to stay out. He's in the top 10, but loses into the wall.
No.
And he takes Daniel Hemrick with him. That is the announcer curse right there. I apologize. Man, he looked good.
And this is the yellow. Trevor Bayne, Ty Gibbs, all these guys who stayed out. Comes up the track. Joe Graff maybe come down a little bit. Kind of looks like one of them racing deals to me, Joseph.
Yeah, look like racing to me, Bradley.
I hate that for Joe Graff because, you know, he's driving for Bobby Dotter, and that's an organization that got their first win ever earlier this year with Cole Custer driving in Fontana, California.
Man, it happened so quick. It's so hard to say what happened there, right? You can say the 11 came up. You can equally say Joe Graff Jr. came down. It almost happened at the same time, and it happens that quick, guys. That's what the drivers are dealing with here at Atlanta. The cars are going so fast around here, and you're right on top of each other. And all it takes is one little movement of your car, one way or the other. You see that Hemrick may got a little loose there. I don't know, man. But it happens so fast, and next thing you know, you're out of the race.
I know it was a hard hit. That's for sure. Whenever you get hit in the right rear quarter panel, there's that little whip action. He has a second hit here that sure didn't feel very good. But poor Daniel, he should have won this race probably last year, and running up front here towards the end.
I realized he was the reason for the caution, so there will be no free pass. This is the best angle we have of him sliding through the grass, heading forward.
To get loose right there, that means you had a flat tire.
Yep.
Yeah, car shouldn't be spinning out right there. Something definitely went wrong when you see him rolling in without a left rear tire on the car.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Spun out down the straightaway.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's hanging on here.
Nice use of the NASCAR Hawkeye cameras.
You know,
Up.
Oh,
and there goes one sideways.
Save it.
Brandon Brown, can he hang on to it? Caution is out.
Tremendous job, not one, overcorrecting the car and coming back up the racetrack, and two, getting it out of the way to where he didn't get hit again. You see some damage there on the left front, though.
Spotted.
Not going to help him here. We're hearing it may have had something to do with the. He was looking to go down the center.
Oh, yep.
Oh, not much room there. And the two got his damage from the 92, trying to avoid the crash.
You know, if the 68, if Brandon Brown doesn't get that damage on the left front, I mean, he almost gets completely through this unscathed. Incredible save
just
right
barely got Josh Berry right in the right side door to see how much damage Josh has. But you're right. This is, you know, when I first started racing in NASCAR, I'll never forget Wayne Alton, the series director, telling me, if you ever get in trouble at Daytona or Talladega, turn the wheel to the left, drive it to the infield, but don't turn it right and hit the wall. And Brandon's got a little bit of wheel to the right, but earlier here, he had it to the left and was able to get down to the apron and just ride it out here a little bit. Live to fight another day. So nice job to him.
You know, the thing that surprised me today is the incidents we've had and the room that has been here for the drivers. One of my big concerns coming here with this package and the tight racing, the drafting, is when you have a crash, there will be nowhere to escape. We have seen drivers avoid big accidents today in both races more than I anticipated.
Remember the start of the race? He didn't have any water in that car. Look at him go now. Whoa!
Bain goes high into the wall. Here comes Ryan Seed down low.
Oh, no.
And the caution will be out.
Ooh, to 7.
Barry's involved. Gregson's involved. Sage Karam hits the inside wall.
Justin Allgaier was involved. We're still on Sam Myers.
No record. That's the big one that we've all been talking about. A lot of damage to the 18. We're just talking about how fast that car was, a 9.
And there was nowhere to go there, Joey.
Not looking good either.
Jeb Burton got a piece of the action in the 27. The 36 is Alex LeBay.
Poor Dale Jr. Every one of his cars from Junior Motorsports was in that crash. There gets a little bump and into the wall, and then the car just kind of peels off the wall, Joseph, and gets all these guys along the way.
Yeah, and you know, Trevor was clear. He was clear, but when he moved up in front of him, it was so tight to his back bumper, it looks like it loosened him up.
Yeah.
You know, and he got loose and chased it into the wall, and then he was still chasing. Here we go. You see Trevor move up in front of the 16. He's clear. It's just tight. Gets the air taken off into the wall. Now he's trying to catch it. He's still trying to catch it. They're 3 wide and just collects everybody else. I mean, when I say everybody else, like everybody else.
Whoa, I don't know who made that move. That was a great move down the middle of the back. Somebody threaded the needle there. JJ Yaley, I hope that's our visor cam.
Let's go on board with Riley Herbst, who's had a host of problems today.
Keep digging low. Keep digging low. They're watching here. Keep digging. Keep low, low, low. Low, 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 low. Right behind you here. Yellow's out. Yellow's out.
Tim Fedua on the spotter stand. And now our visor cam riding with a 66. This is J.J. Yaley.
18's in the wall up in front of us here.
This one.
You're clear. Watch it break in here. Back it down. Back it down. Back it down. Creep it. Creep it. Good. Good job.
James Coleman, the spotter there.
Just end of the race here, Joey. Everybody gets a little bit closer.
Hard race.
And that speed shot really gives you an idea of the impact. 3 to go.
Something's happened here. This is going to be really interesting. If something's wrong with the 31 car entering turn 1. Riley Herbst is going to make quick work of him. Oh!
And he turns in.
Just
hang on to it. He's fun. You hang on to it. Whole field's coming.
Oh,
my
exactly what we were afraid of,
You're
Joey.
good.
The whole field coming at you.
How scary was that?
Well, you got to think that Herbst saw that car sparking. He said, I don't want to follow Myatt Snyder because he saw that something could possibly be wrong.
In this situation.
Easy now. Keep digging. Keep digging. You're fine. Keep digging. Out.
Myatt obviously
Yellow's out outside.
said there was a problem. But as a driver in that circumstance, aren't you leaning on the crew to tell you to pit or no? How does that decision go down? How is it made?
Such a tough one there, Adam. I don't know if something's wrong with this car or if he just ran over something that's stuck underneath the car. Obviously, that's a lot of sparks. But I want to go back here real quick to Riley Herbst because I think some people are probably wondering why that happened. But he was getting pushed the whole time here from Ty Gibbs. So even if he wasn't on the throttle, he got pushed into that. I'm not sure there was much he could have done a lot differently. But from the Myatt Snyder perspective, I don't know what you could really do. You can't give up the lead and a chance to win a race.
That's what makes it so hard to do.
Here you see, here's Ty pushing the 98. It's really not much either of them can do. I mean, it's just a bad situation.
And we're really fortunate that we didn't have a whole lot worse crash.
Ty Gibbs giving Sieg a huge push right here.
They crashed each other, and there we go.
Big wreck in the back of the pack.
Caution back behind the leaders. We'll go to double overtime.
That should move Ryan to the lead.
Tommy Joe Martins, Jesse Iwuji, and the 5 of Matt Mills. And we understand with all that fluid coming from Matt Mills' car, we'll get a red flag.
Matt behind.
Oh, you see the car on the outside there.
Jeffrey Earnhardt, it looks like.
Looks like he got loose maybe from a push at that point.
Came down and collected Matt. The guys behind him just got caught up in it. No contact for...
You see that fluid come out of the 5 right there.
Stephen Parsons involved. Mike Snyder in the back gets caught up in it.
It's the second time today that Stephen Parsons has been involved.
There goes the shove
Outside
fast
door. Still on, you've locked on, pushing. Outside quarter, bumper.
Ooh, the inside lane's looking good here, Joey. Ty Gibbs still pushing into 3.
I thought Austin Hill had the advantage. Outside lane is Rowling. Hill got loose. Here comes Ryan Sieg. He's leading. White flag is out. 1 to go. Next flag ends the race. Here's Ty Gibbs looking low for the top spot.
What a move he just made there. I think he's going to clear him, but it's not over yet.
Ty Gibbs out front. The crossover.
Ooh, Ty
Here
got
comes
way
the
ahead.
Cars up top. No run though, no momentum.
3 wide for second. That's A.J. Allmendinger with a push from Landon Castle.
And Ty Gibbs is gone.
Ty Gibbs looking for his 2nd win of the year. He did it at Las Vegas. Back to the checkered flag. He's a winner in overtime at Atlanta.
How about that? Let's go! It ain't over till it's over!
I think he's going to be late for his date tonight.
He's got a good excuse for it.
He sure does.
And the answer to car 50.
And sliding down to the apron.
Noah Gregson.
Oh,
Sorry, guys.
that's a shame.
Got a lot of experience yesterday in the Xfinity race. Yeah, looks like he nosed it in pretty hard.
Really hard. I haven't seen one of these cars actually smashed up that hard yet this year.
Looked like right in the middle of the
Seemed loose back there.
Yeah.
Exactly like Ross
Chastain
Chastain at California earlier this year. That is a hard hit, as hard as you can hit.
Well, these cars, right, lower profile tire, pretty stiff. That underwing works great in a straight line, but loses a lot of downforce when it goes into yaw. The car doesn't have a lot of side force, so really hard to catch these cars once it goes around.
Well, I think it doesn't have a lot of downforce, meaning it doesn't have a lot of air pushing down on the car. Most of that air is directed underneath of it, that diffuser that we all have talked about.
Just need help on my exit so I don't have to worry about it. The 22, Joey Logano's in, 2 loose, and the 12, Ryan Blaney, loose all the way around the track. Right side tires only.
A lot of congestion. Bubba Wallace can't get out of his stall because the car ahead couldn't get into his.
Yeah, Greg Biffle and Amarola spun around. That was absolute chaos.
Saw a wheel get loose in the 31 pit.
Where every car came to pit road, and boy, we had our share of calamity. We had the 43 zooming out as the 10 was coming in, and Eric Jones got into Eric Almirola and turned him around.
But you called it, Mike.
Got the 44, Greg Biffle, all over the place, causing havoc for not only Bubba Wallace, but I think it was Kyle Busch right there. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, Mike called it about how many cars are on the lead lap and we're coming down pit road to make pit stops. When you have the spotters and everybody on pit road.
Hendrick Motorsports engines have.
That's a very good question. I mean, I would think that, leader's in the wall.
Easy, stay low.
And caution is out.
There, stay up if you can.
He did a heck of a job of not sending that car all the way around. See how much damage.
Left rear blue, right side hit the wall, right rear tail first.
Oh boy.
Steering still straight, feels like the rear straight.
Goes into turn 1, gets into the banking.
Boom, goes down and round he goes. I don't know that car's tore up all that bad.
The only thing, with the left front was the independent rear suspension, you do get that toe link that bends really easy when you hit the right rear like that.
Boy, how lucky is that? All those cars behind him, the whole pack literally behind him, could have been catastrophic for everybody behind him. That was the big one that was
So he locked
avoided.
up the left front tire, I think, after the hit.
And that
blew that down. The question is, he said on the radio, he thought it's just so hard to tell if
it was the right rear because the left front come up. That's why the left front is way up in the air.
He did a good job of minimizing the damage.
In a Chevy, and Denny Hamlin's Toyota will lead them back to green. 5 to go in stage 1. Byron and Dillon trying to hold off those 2 Toyota teammates, and here comes Hamlin.
Without the help of his teammate.
Wreck. 2 cars hard in the wall, and Austin Dillon, Kyle Busch crash.
More behind him.
Stacking up behind him.
Ty Dillon into the wall. And Chase Briscoe, last week's winner, spinning.
That was that split second decision. The 18 didn't decide to go with Denny. Denny was waiting. I think he anticipated him to go. He waited just a heartbeat and then took off. I think it was as quick as Kyle Busch did. See, Austin Dillon was blocking a little bit, makes the move. Kyle Busch decides to go up top, gets to the bumper of the 3. He gets loose.
Touched him. It looked like he got to the rear bumper of Austin Dillon and
Kyle
turned
Busch
him sideways.
He is second guessing that decision right now.
Yeah, I don't think he thought Denny was going to clear the 3 of Austin Dillon, so he didn't go with him.
All right, let's ride with Dillon.
Dropping inside. 18 sticking with us. Bottom's clear by 1 to the bottom.
Boy, he was just...
He didn't touch him, I don't think.
I think he touched him, but it was barely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought that
much.
would have gotten him loose, but it did. You see it start to bobble right there. Almost, maybe when Denny jumped up in front of him, too, took a little bit of downforce away from the 3. Yep, it's like a bad combination. The 18 on his rear bumper, the 11 coming up in front of him. Pretty heavy right front damage to the 18 of Kyle Busch.
And then further back, Ty Dillon, trying to avoid everything, gets into the wall and then into Chase Briscoe. So we will end stage 1. Tyler Reddick cut down a right rear tire and went around in mayhem.
He sure did, and just like the one of Ross Chastain right in front of the field. This time collected a lot more cars.
Yeah, when you're up front like that, they're 2 wide stacked behind you. See Tyler Reddick in the outside. Right here, the car's going to wiggle. Looks to me like a right rear tire going down.
Joy had a rough ride there. Kyle Larson got turned. Joey Logano was in it. Christopher Bell.
Watch what this does, how everybody's scrambling for position, stacking everybody up.
The middle, lower.
Boy, nice job making it through there clean.
Let's ride with Kevin Harvick.
Woo. That'll get your heart rate up.
Top 4.
Oh, no,
right in his lap. Nothing he could do.
But you could see the car drop down almost like the wheel when the tire went down, the wheel digging into the racetrack right in front of Kurt Busch.
So we are under caution at lap 146. What a great time to welcome Hall of Famer, Cy Young Award winner, Atlanta Brave World Series.
Turn 3 earlier in the race. Just curious to see what Blaney's going to do here.
And Jamie, that's what I like is that they can make the move, right? 47 went around, thinking maybe another tire. I'm not sure.
Oh, and he gets piled into by Austin Cindric.
Yeah, the right rear was down. Right rear's on the wheel.
And a freaking tire go down again.
Yeah, you could see the 47 Stenhouse thing just snapped around as he got into turn 3.
We're just talking about the 4 car having a clean race. Fenders were still on it. Now he
enters into turn 3. Boom. You can see exactly the same situation that happened with the 8 of Tyler Reddick. The tire goes down. You can see the wheel digging into the racetrack, creating that streak.
Blaney got through. Kyle Larson got turned by Christopher Bell. The 20 is trying to avoid here. Oh. Or vice versa. And we're going to ride with Daniel Suarez.
It's too bad damage there on the floor.
Keep the 43, don't let him put you in the middle. You're good. Watch him here. Come on to the bottom. You're good. You're good. Gonna have.
You saw the damage on Kevin Harvick's car. Here's how he got it.
Back 48 again. Front of easy. Hold your line. Go hard.
He slowed down plenty early.
Coming back.
You heard him try to. He got on the gas and was thinking he was going to get by them, but he couldn't because the 43 was right in his way.
Yeah, they all.
He saw him coming up.
All the momentum came right back up top.
And Austin Cindric, a victim.
Yeah, just got sent right into Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Eric Jones had woed up for Stenhouse coming up the track and was going to miss him, and he got tagged hard by Harvick.
Such a bummer. Stenhouse, poor big contact. Great camera work there. Just such a bummer for the 47 of Stenhouse, doing a great job up front there.
And as he was spinning, you saw that right rear tire flat yet once again.
So Larry, 8 laps to go in this stage. What do we do now?
Yeah, I think we're going to see the same thing we saw near the end of stage 1. If you're up there up front trying to get those stage points, maybe trying to get that one playoff.
The cars look like we're at Martinsville.
Or the end of Daytona.
Don't get out too far, Blaney.
Whoa!
Into the wall, Larson and Hamlin.
It kind of goes back to what you're saying, though, Clint. There's so much drag in that 5 car, pulling him back. That I think Denny was just trying to push him. Almost the same situation as his teammate Kyle Busch pushing the 3 car earlier.
Literally the exact same.
He gets to the right rear, just push it. Finally gets down to the left rear. Yeah, he just.
Chase Elliott took a shot in the right door.
Right, and I'm wondering if that will hurt that toe link that we talk about on the right rear, because it hit him pretty solid in the right rear.
Yeah, maybe he got the door.
Hopefully.
I think he got the door of the 9.
Hit.
I mean, we talk about pushing late in the stages.
1 back both lanes, 2 back both lanes. 1 more lap at the line there. Wrecking behind you. Just keep coming, keep them below there. Cautions out.
We talk about how late in the stages you just can't push at the end of these races. And I think that's more than ever is the 99.
Come to the bottom.
Suarez gets through there clean. But Clint, I know that these guys are going to get aggressive at the end of the stages into this race, but you just can't push in the corners or off the exit of the corners these days. Or, I mean, in at this track.
Watch Kyle Larson's hands through the windshield here.
I mean, I feel like the 11 was pushing him in the right spot. He was a little bit more to the right, but then as the car started to get sideways, shifted to the left, and that once you get to that left rear bumper, you're around.
So this will
That's what Chase Elliott was wanting to see. A few more cars in that inside lane pop down there. Oh, one in the wall.
And around goes Todd Gilliland.
Oh,
Cody Ware.
Big
a
hit.
Vicious hit to the inside wall with the left front. Caution is out with 25 laps to go. 10th caution of the day.
I mean,
at lap 301.
Safer barrier certainly did its job, and you could see him moving around there, but I guarantee that one knocked the wind out of him.
Yeah, it's done.
That was Cody on the radio.
Trying to get up out of line.
Yeah, that thing.
You saw him get out of the gas. It was the tire down.
And then okay. Cody had a little bit of help. Was that Biffle maybe behind him?
Yeah, he definitely got turned.
You can see the flame coming out of his pipes. He's up there all by himself. Starts to come around. Yeah, Biffle got into the back of Ware.
Somebody checked up in front of Cody. Just nowhere to go for those guys.
Man.
That is a vicious hit. And glad Cody Ware was quickly on the radio and okay. So things pack up here behind Todd Gilliland. That yellow car scoots through, but there was just nowhere for Cody Ware to go. He got turned hard.
Ross Chastain might play a big role here. He's very aggressive with that push.
Sure is. All three of those cars had inside lines together, formulated way better than the outside. You see the 43 coming to the 12. Will that be a difference? William Byron back to the lead.
Yeah, I thought Blaney did a nice job pushing Bubba, but it was that push from Ross Chastain. Oh, he turns the 10.
Caution.
Bummer for Eric Almirola. He's doing a great job there.
You called that, Jeff.
Well, you know it's good.
One's just pushing hard.
Yeah. 99 really wasn't there, but the one was just aggressively pushing, and it could be too. These tires they've got the air pressure built up. They've got quite a few laps on them, so the car's probably not quite as stable as they were, and then that aggressive pushing. You can see that hood flap.
But it isn't any more aggressive. Look on the outside line. The 12 had Bubba Wallace jacked up as well and had him sideways a little bit. I mean, it's just time. It's time to push and go for it. If you're gonna go for it and put yourself in a vulnerable spot, I've always said I'm going to do it at the end of the race when the pay window's open. Right. I do not want to wreck with 20 laps into the race. I'll do it with 20 to go.
One of the things I noticed, Mike, is right there, that's where that first dog leg is at. So it's not like it's a straightaway. You actually are turning the wheel a little bit right there. So it seemed to me like Eric was turning the wheel to make that first dog leg, and then he had that push from the one.
You're right, Jeff. You could see the yaw in the car just before the one got to him. This is a quad oval. There's a short straightaway between the double dog leg here on either side. Not a tri-oval like Daytona, but a quad oval. And that's what produces that. There's a look at it, and there's the area. Jeff comes up to third. He's going
here we
for
go.
second. 1 lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Exactly what William Byron wants. Side by side behind him.
Oh.
Bubba Wallace.
And Blaney into the wall with Briscoe.
Here comes a run. The one of Ross Chastain. You're going to have to block.
Oh, below the white line there by Christopher Bell.
They're racing side by side. Perfect scenario for William Byron. There's going to be a massive run coming off this one car, 4.
Byron, top to bottom, hugs that white line, drifts up and comes to the line. He wins it as Buscher, Haley have a hard crash into the wall. I believe that's Harrison Burton with them. At least 3 cars involved.
Couple of big hits.
Oh my goodness.
Whew, now I can take a breath.
What a race. Great job by William Byron, his spotter, the communication,
when it
the
goes
patience.
Goes back to talking about, do you want to be the leader? Well, you do if those guys all have different agendas behind you.
Yeah, had that not happened, we had a big run.
And then you see Bubba gets really loose into turn 1. That outside lane basically is gone. Watch the run of the 20, Christopher Bell. Well, I think that's what Ross Chastain was talking about, whether or not Bell was forced below the white line or went below the white line to advance.
And NASCAR has judged that Christopher Bell drove below the double line, so he will be penalized to the tail end of the lead lap, and Ross Chastain will finish second.
And that's where the contact happened with Chris Buscher in the 99 of Suarez, and then it was an accordion effect behind him with Haley and Bubba Wallace.
And you saw Ryan Blaney run out of luck again, got tipped up into the wall. He will end up 18th today.
Oh, a big hit by Bubba Wallace. You hit with that passenger side or driver's side, even with the safer barrier, that is a big impact. So you see Chris Buscher goes to the inside, but he's got Haley on the inside of him.
Wasn't quite clear.
No, just 3 wide.
And Daniel Suarez coming down as that track, just that little curve there after the start-finish line, took those 3 cars out of play after the flag. Oh. I don't want to do this, but we're going to ride with Ryan Blaney.
Ouch.
Yeah, he
just caught him in a real vulnerable position there.
Yeah. Just got to the back bumper of the 23 and had to push him. It was time to go. He didn't have a choice but to try to push him, got him loose.
Yeah, that was two big hits.
But take a look at what just happened with Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, the 19's right on that left rear quarter panel, and you cannot push on the left side of that rear bumper. If you're going to push another car, be on the right side. Moved offset to the right is way more comfortable for the lead car, almost spinning the 54 there.
Now Josh Berry has pulled out to about a 3-car length lead. Weren't expecting this. We thought that they'd be a little tighter together.
Well, that's...
And a caution's come out as we see the 34 spinning. That's right. Jesse Iwuji is around in his own team. His own team car there with Emmett Smith.
That's at the entrance to pit road.
Oh, and he's got some damage to the left rear quarter panel.
Yeah, he's got a flat left rear tire either before or...
Jesse just way up the racetrack, gets away from him. Spins out and probably blows that left rear tire. A little bit of damage to that left rear quarter panel from making contact to the wall. Tough start for Jesse Iwuji. This is the kind of race that a team like Jesse and a driver like Jesse need to take advantage of. Going to be big packs, going to be probably a lot of wrecks. You need to try to miss those wrecks to get better. Look at that 39 car on the bottom of Ryan C.
Oh, the two cars spinning around.
Two of Sheldon Creed sideways as he goes down the backstretch trying to catch it.
He does a good job here, keeping the car off the wall, running 14th. You could see him move up to the high side in clean air, and it put a bunch of air on the right front of that car and pinned that right front and steered the car, swung the car around. He's snap spun. Look at him up there in clean air by himself. Also some dirty racetrack that nobody's been able to run in to keep that track clean. We saw Jesse Iwuji get loose up in that part of the racetrack earlier. Still a little bit dirty up there.
Got pinched up there by Brandon Jones a little bit. And you know Brandon Jones isn't wanting to put him that close in the wall. I'm having a feeling Brandon couldn't keep his car where he wanted it to be. See him going up the racetrack, immediately that 2-car turns around. There's a lot of nervous crew chiefs right now, and I'm telling you, there's a lot of nervous cup drivers sitting in those motorhomes over there as well. Wall, saw dust flying.
Oh, the 19 car sideways in front of the field. Down on the apron across the racetrack. No contact. He saves the car. The caution does come out. He gets really loose up the racetrack.
Oh, he's loose in the middle of the corner, and now he's just along for the ride. A little bit of contact there with the 11 car of Daniel Hemrick. NASCAR just knew this was going to be a massive wreck and threw the caution. Look at that big wiggle. Look with Hemrick nowhere to go.
Every other time that's a big crash. He either other cars pile into him coming across the track, or he overcorrects up the racetrack into the field. It just...
What you got there, bud? Just too loose.
Allgaier and Noah Gregson, but both of them are rallying back currently. Noah in 15th and Justin in 17th, but oh, trouble for the 1 car just as I am giving him praise for running 7th. That's the one of Sam Mayer into the outside wall. Looks like he got turns. We'll have to wait to see the replay, but significant amount of damage on the nose of that race car.
Caution comes out. You saw it all on nonstop as Sam Mayer goes around backwards and slams into the wall. He is now out of that car as the AMR safety team immediately to him. He'll head to the infield care center to get checked out.
Yeah, it looked like down the back straightaway the Sam squeezed, I believe that's the 26 car, Jeffrey Earnhardt, into the wall off of turn 2, and Jeffrey come off the wall. Here it is. Jeffrey comes off of the wall and makes contact with the right rear quarter panel, and that just sends the one around. So it's a great look here. Yeah, the one just up the racetrack. Jeffrey just trying not to fence his car. Coming back across the racetrack, makes contact, and a little damage at 26, and Jeffrey had such a great run going. So now there's damage to the left front and the right front of his car they'll have to repair, and this 1 car is out of the race.
That was a great view. We saw Sam Mayer go up the racetrack. Was that another situation where a spotter maybe cleared him and he tried to take a spot that wasn't really open yet?
It's possible he got information from the spotter to take that position when there wasn't one. It looks like he's making a move to go somewhere where there's a car in his way.
It was an aggressive move to the right, which leads you to believe he thought there was an opening there.
Yeah.
Clearly, there wasn't.
Yeah. And so Sam Mayer out of the car and under caution once again. And now, Steve, we want to bring you in.
Car in the wall off turn 2. Brandon Brown, you see the right side damage.
He had just come to pit road.
He had an awesome run going today.
Tire down. Coming to you guys. Stay low here. Going to have to pick up on the right side. When he gets here, he's coming to you quick. He's middle of 3 and 4.
Still on the green.
Yeah, no cautions come out as Brandon Brown is making his way onto pit road. Here's why. Up into the wall there.
He pitted from 10th place, was running 17th in that moment.
And much like we...
To the bottom of the racetrack for 3rd place.
Hemrick tries to make the run. Now Barry does the same. He's got to check up. He goes up high.
Down the back straightaway, side by side for 2nd.
It's going to be a huge run to the back on the top.
1.5 here. 8's going to be closest to you on entry.
Will there be enough momentum? Austin Hill right on the double white line. Can he win in Georgia? Austin Hill holds him off. He wins.
I need that thing.
Involved in this, BJ McLeod also is in it, as well as Chris Buescher.
Yeah, BJ just lost the car all on his own, and then just everybody else is behind him, nowhere to go. See the car step out.
What I'm trying to understand is that 78 has what's to me a broken right rear toe link, but I don't see it hit anything, Jeff. So I don't know if perhaps
I think the 17, Steve, hits him right here.
Okay, yeah, that might break the left rear loose. Yeah, I could see that, because I was trying to figure out how the car itself broke. Like, did it break and spin, or then spin and had a failure? But yeah, I saw that contact now on that 17.
Yeah, and I didn't see the damage. See him get loose right there, and then there's just nowhere to go. I didn't see the damage on that 42, but he hit that inside wall pretty hard. I didn't think he had, we could only see the right side, but he's got a fair amount of damage on that left front fender.
And as you pointed out, that contact.
You made me tighter. That's allowing me to make moves. You see him ducking out there when they go into the corners. He also made a very interesting point. He said,
I feel 19's going to go around. He'll collect the 1. 22 of Logano also in it.
Stay up there.
Lots of cars. Look at the 5 of Larson there.
McDowell comes back up in front. He'll tag another car. Kyle Larson in it also.
Big damage for the 3. It was interesting, guys. Like, there was a wreck, and then it almost continued farther along than I expected with Larson and a couple other cars.
Yeah, the 1 car was pushing the 19 right there off into turn 1, and the 19 was a little bit uncomfortable in the front stretch, just entering the corner.
Phil.
And the leader...
The fender at the seam to the fascia on the left front's broke, and then it looks like the fascia to the splitter on the left front's broken.
Like, the leader of the race went up to block that run, and Martin...
The 1 car is on the outside. They make contact, and around Truex goes. It's just, these cars, we've seen it over and over and over. You cannot push in these corners. If you get offset at all, it just doesn't work. Right there, the contact, and now Truex is along for the ride.
Yeah, Truex is out of the gas, uncomfortable. The 1 is just trying to wait on him to sort of gather it up and go, and eventually makes contact.
You see right here,
Martin's lifting right there. He's lifting. He's loose. The 1's like waiting, trying to say, go, come on, get it going. Eventually makes contact, and then everybody kind of piles in. Look at the 22 up in the air right there.
And the 3 kind of goes out of sight, but man, he gets turned to the right, and the damage on the right front of that car, it had to be a pretty big hit. We'll see if we got it from this angle right here. You're going to see the 19 spin And then watch the 3. He's going to be on the left side of this traffic. He gets caught, I think, by the 34. So, right, the 34 gets hit by the 20. Here comes Austin Dillon. He's going to go out of screen, but as he goes out of screen, oh, I'm telling you, that thing turns right.
Boom.
Oh, yeah. There it comes back in. Man.
You have to wonder also, guys, we were talking about Ross Chastain offsetting to the right.
Wow.
To get more downforce, right? But how was that hurting Martin Truex Jr.'s car and how it drives? There's that big hit by Austin Dillon. That's just a massive hit. It's one thing, this car, the center section of this car is much tougher than the last car trying to protect the driver. That was a massive hit. You saw how big the safety barrier moved.
Watch the 3. We're going to be right on it when he comes into frame right here.
And Junior, this is the worst thing.
Oh my goodness.
Such a big hit.
Wow.
Imagine this, if, we didn't have that safety barrier there, that would have been a whole lot worse. So
all the way back in about the 4th row of 2x2.
Rick, we mentioned a lot of guys that have been able to repair their cars. Kyle Busch, his car didn't look. Oh, he had a yellow on the racetrack. The 17.
Busher.
Okay, well, I was going to say, guys that were able to repair their cars. The 17 was in an accident much earlier on the backstretch. Different than our last yellow. Now he has another flat. Blew her right front, it sounds like. Oh. I mean, I say it looks like an easy hit. I don't think any of them are.
No, that you blow a right front at Atlanta, it's not going to be an easy hit. He did a great job of getting it slowed down to minimize it, but here we see it. We'll see how he got it slowed down, but still some damage there, Steve, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
William Byron leading at Atlanta. Stenhouse Jr.
No place for him to go.
Yeah, you have to be patient to make that move. Oh, we got a little smoke there in the back. Car spinning out of control off of turn 2. Down to the bottom of the racetrack. Briscoe all alone. Don't think anyone else was involved.
Here, no damage. Get it fired up. Roll when you can.
I don't know if he had a tire failure or what. May have just gotten loose. There's a flat tire on that car now, but just out of the corner of my eye, I saw the smoke.
14.
I mean, it's hard to say if the tire's up or not, but he's definitely kind of by himself spinning out. I mean, it looks like it would be maybe a soft tire or a flat tire, or he just loses it. Hard to say.
Either way, yeah. A lot of damage to the bottom of that car, and at a track where, they're aero dependent everywhere with that diffuser. Maybe more so here than most tracks.
Big run right here by the 8. Didn't really have anything he could do with it. Brad Keselowski on the bottom.
Oh, 48. Sorry. A right rear tire goes down on that car.
Bowman around. They come up on 1 lap to go in stage 2. And the caution will come out. The stage will end under caution.
Rick, that's exactly what we saw in this race in March from a lot of cars. That's, I think, the first one, Steve, that we saw today with the right rear tire failures. And why is that happening? These tires, I don't know if that's contributing. Something to keep in mind, though, is just obvious a flat right rear tire in the 48.
He goes around. Chase Elliott sweeps the stages at Atlanta.
About Joey Hand in the car at times, Priest in the car at times, doing a great job as we see the 43 takes the lead away from Cindric.
Oh, big wreck back
crash.
Behind. And there's the 15 involved. Ty Dillon in the 42 also involved.
24, Byron. Brad Keselowski was having a good day. Bubba Wallace.
Looking off the helmet cam of Bubba Wallace. Tries to fire it back up. Tyler Reddick went through the grass. You see it all on that grill opening.
Oh, no.
Big damage on William Byron, that right front.
It's such a fast car today.
Now listen, I said big damage. I'm almost going to take that back. We have seen the one car, I'm going to call it similar damage, maybe not as much in the front, but the fenders and stuff, and they taped it up, and it was great. So we're just going to have to see. It looks like that right front shaking around a little bit. I can't tell.
He has anywhere to go. I don't know if the 15 might have had a flat entering the corner. It looked like he was having some type of an issue and out of the throttle. And you could see him checking the back of the car. So watch the 15. He's lifting, wiggling out of the throttle. And this is a super speedway type of event where if a guy's lifting like that, you've got nowhere to go. You see everybody piling in.
Oh, you see Todd Gilliland is having a good day early. He's got a little damage. That wiggle right there, just Kyle Larson couldn't see that. He had no idea that problem was going on. Got in the back of Ty Dillon.
.42 calls that. 42 just stopped us. He is so stupid sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree. I think the 15's wiggling loose out of the gas, and them guys can't, they can't go anywhere. I mean, the 42's getting run over. Ty Dillon and all those guys really had nowhere to go to be able to avoid.
Got into the wall on the backstretch.
What happened? There's 3 cars in the frame. The 18's already sideways.
Yeah, look at Steve. Look at the 51. So he's in. He comes around and crashes into the back straightaway wall. Look at the. That's just interesting. I didn't know how he got there from the apron.
That makes 2 of us.
Here we go. Yep. So he's loose. Whoa!
Right
back
there.
up the racetrack.
77 to Landon Castle's like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm getting out of here.
Oh, the toe link, I think, might be broke.
Well, guys, it doesn't matter what all the strategies we talk about or how much math you do. It seems like these races still fall down to that magical number. We said at the beginning of the race that we thought 65 to 70 laps, and now we're right on that window.
That 11 is helping us because the 19 can't get a good enough push. That 11 got ahead of them too and got to the 19. We'd have our hands full.
20 cars going around down on the front straightaway.
Ooh, this grass is wet.
Caution's out.
And Bell quickly getting onto pit road.
Looks like all tires are up, man. We'd heard from him that he was loose all race long. We saw a few moments earlier in the race with this 20 car.
Yeah, tires are not down.
The racetrack made some changes to the grass coming off of turn 4 in case cars went on it
there. And he did a great job. Look how long he dirt tracks this thing. Almost saved it right there, but it finally comes around.
And right here is where the track did the work. So you see the car just skipping across the grass rather than digging in and just ripping the nose off of it.
Well, A+ then, because it was tested right here, and it's thankful to see this 20 with minimal damage is going to continue. I want to know what Blaney and Eric Jones is thinking right here.
Yeah, you see him around, and early in the year, Christopher Bell maybe overcorrects and turns that car and head on into the wall.
Right here in Atlanta. Coming up on 14 laps to go. Corey LaJoie running in the 2nd position.
Truex back to the bottom.
Oh! The 11 sideways. Can he hang on to it? They wreck.
Lock her down here. Lock her down. Get
And the
everyone
caution will come out. There'll be another restart.
Brad Keselowski down there in the grass.
Lock it down, lock it down, lock it down, lock it down.
Everybody did a really, really good job there. I thought that was going to be a bigger wreck than it was. The one car gets in the left rear quarter panel, and Denny Hamlin turns him sideways in front of the field.
Denny Hamlin has had enough of Ross Chastain this year. It's not going to help.
Right front down, and left front could be down as well for Brad Keselowski as he's going to try to limp around the racetrack and not do too much damage to the front of that car.
Chastain just up the racetrack into the back, into the quarter panel of Hamlin.
So this is the frustration I think drivers have with Ross Chastain. When you interview him, he talks about how he's going to try to do it differently and race differently, and then here we are. He just climbs the banking. I'm sure his car is probably not handling as he had hoped, but his contact spins Denny Hamlin out.
I'm with you, Steve. You got a gas pedal in there. Chastain is going to have to make a decision on what does he want to do. Like, he's up the racetrack right here. He's lost the nose. You're going to have to lift. I mean, you got to lift and get off of the guy, no matter who it is. And he's going to have to clean these things up. He's a professional race car driver. He's a winner. He's a championship contender. You just can't continue to do these types of things.
Listen to Denny in the throttle. Holds the steering wheel, downshifting. Let's listen to the one audio here. Exit if he wants it. These 8 laps are going to happen fast. Corey LaJoie to the top, getting a big push from this 19 car.
Pushing hard.
19 trying almost to the right rear quarter panel. He had a shot at it.
He was almost there.
Cautions come out. On the back stretch. Car down on the apron. Joey Logano, the 22.
I think we had a couple cars spin around. Seems like everybody's heading in the right direction, though.
And we'll have another restart. Yeah, the left front down, as well as you see the 11. Denny Hamlin has damage to the right side.
Head, look back, we were crossed up.
Let's watch right here. Denny Hamlin right there in the Coca-Cola number 11. It's like the 20 of Christopher Bell in the middle between the 22. They just come together. Not enough room for Christopher there to be in the middle, and turns both these guys in the outside wall. Time running out.
Bottom of 3 when you get there.
Things are going to happen fast.
One outside now.
Trying to get everything they can get.
Wrecking.
He goes from bad to worse there. Frustration coming through the radio.
And no idea, like even what happened. Like what just happened? I know I got hooked, but
in the air.
No push from that one car right now.
Yeah, I'd like to see them be a little bit closer together than they were. Good organization on the outside line. Oh, contact. The 7 and the 19. Truex in the middle.
3 wide. Here comes Chase Elliott.
Chase through the middle. Truex now to the outside. Going backwards.
Now, Corey LaJoie trying to block both lines. To the high side. Here comes Chase Elliott. LaJoie up to block him.
Coming to 2 to go here. Chase is going to get a run on this 7 car at the end of the front straightaway. We know he's went to the inside, this side to the outside.
Outside.
9 car to the lead.
Now he's got to decide what lane he's going to go. Is it the bottom or the top? Big push from the 1 car on the 7 here.
Push is coming from both sides.
Elliott goes down to block.
Corey's clear. He's clear of the 43.
1 lap to go. Presented by Credit One Bank. LaJoie loose behind the 9. Now he goes to the high side. All the way up into the wall goes LaJoie. He's going to spin around. He'll collect the field. Caution will come out, and it looks as though the 9 of Chase Elliott is going to be scored the winner. Chase Elliott will join his father as the only Georgia-born driver now. 2 of them to win at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Just the second father-son pair to win at Atlanta.
Race, and it just didn't work out.
He got a big push from the 43 down the front straightaway, and he had to do something with that, right?
Yes.
So he went to the outside. Chase goes up to block a little bit and knows now Corey's going to get a run. What's he going to do? He doesn't go to the bottom. Chase enters low, moves up the racetrack. That sends Corey into the wall.
Oh, Kurt Busch.
Some hard licks right there. Gets in the back of the 9, just barely right there, and up the racetrack, loose into the wall. Everybody just going for it, really. You know, Chase is going to block. You know the blocks are coming late in these races. Just defending his position, trying to win this race.
This late in the race, you said it. If you got to run, you have to take it. And if it's coming from behind, you have to block it. And I know Corey won't be happy with the block. Chase, to be honest with you, doesn't like having to do that kind of block. If it exposes you as well, it's just the nature of the...
Probably not safe to be. I know that firsthand. I've come on pit road.
Whoa! BJ McLeod saves that car.
That track was really dirty.
It was a lot of dust there up in the high lane and no grip. Wow.
So why was he in a high lane, building speed up?
Exactly.
Right? Why wasn't he down in the groove and everything else? They run that outside line, coming to the green, making this track as big as possible, building that momentum, that speed for your big lap.
And that's what we've always done at Daytona and Talladega, but as you saw there, it got loose. He almost caught it
and then didn't catch.
Pretty hard. It may have some character to it.
Oh, around goes Bell. Slides it down to the apron.
I'm telling you, that I put that as rigid as that car had no chance. As soon as it went, it was gone. Picks up that dirt on the right rear.
And he's just trying to get everything he can get. I mean, he's not trying to put himself in a bad spot right there, obviously. He's just trying to make the track as long as he can. But it's just, you see that dirt, and I would say the dirt was probably the biggest factor right there.
That car is by far the most rigid car that I've seen on the racetrack, though. I agree. Obviously, you watch the replay and you see a dirt, trail, bomb trail coming off that right.
But we've got some energy building on the inside line.
Yeah, and if I'm Carson Hocevar right there on the outside line, just ahead of the orange truck of Ben Rhodes, I would duck down there and see if I could get there. Oh, there's going to be contact on the front. There it is. That was Lane Riggs that just didn't have room to come up in front of Tanner Gray, I believe.
That's Lane Riggs in the number 1 for Tricon Garage. Got the call this week to hop aboard.
Another one of those drivers that has never raced anything
from Gray, and Lane Riggs just moved up and there wasn't room there.
Tough break for teammates as well.
Wow.
Lane Riggs was running 14th at the time. Christian Eckes is nice and calm out front, but not so much back in the pack. Problems for the one truck.
Of Lane Riggs, right there, that move from the truck, and Lane just squeezed over, tried to make sure he took his line away, kept everyone behind him, and there just wasn't room to do so.
We always talk about how important the spotters are, but probably no more important than they are at a place like this, especially on a mile and a half when they're doing drafting like this. So critical for the spotter to be on top of his toes.
Tough break for Lane Riggs.
With Rhonda and the dogs.
Uh-oh. Bottom lane trouble. Something's wrong with Honeycutt.
Honeycutt drops below the line. Down the front stretch, certainly off the pace.
What an amazing job that he did to hold on to that after Zane got into the back of him.
Something broke.
Yeah.
I mean, something happened to the engine here. And he does a fantastic job. I would give him a raise for hanging onto that car. That's amazing.
And Zane as well. I mean, Zane with nowhere to go. All of a sudden, he slows down in front of him. And Bailey Curry paying attention as well, right behind Zane.
Watch how quickly.
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are back together. What does this mean for the Usos? Plus, Cody Rhodes competes in a SmackDown ring for the first time in 6 years. It's an all-new Friday Night SmackDown, live at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fox.
And welcome back. Right when we stepped aside, you saw the 46.
He got too low on that white and red line, and it made him shoot up the hill, and then he tried to cut it to keep it off of the 9 truck of Colby Howard, and around it went. And man, looked like he was maybe going to slip by without hitting the wall, but both left front and left rear hard into the wall, and that's going to end his day.
A lot of discussions going on right now.
I don't think there's any discussion. I think they all come to pit road for sure. There's another look. As you mentioned, Michael D turned it left to try to avoid Colby Howard. It's great that we can have a single truck incident here without getting a whole bunch of other trucks involved, and they get some minimal damage to the front end of that truck.
Akinori makes a few starts here and there, and was really thought that was a beautiful truck too. Thought he had a chance to run up in the top 10, and he was running 21st. Then this is when it all ended for.
Yeah, it had certainly ramifications, didn't it, Michael?
The beginning of the end for Corey Heim. Had been dominant. He's got a great attitude, a great spirit.
Top 10 at Phoenix.
Cool to see him right up front.
Really good run for Chase Purdy. John Hunter Nemechek in the 17.
Look at the damage on Corey Heim. Corey Heim's damage is more than likely going to be terminal.
Bring it straight to the box. Bring it straight to the box. Let them clean the grill.
And remember, the reason he's back there is because of the contact on pit road. He would never been in that position.
And remember also, the restart zone's longer, and these guys have more options. And so when they wait, there's gaps in the back, and those guys get runs, and there's a sign of it. Except for the 2 didn't really go.
He didn't really go, and then the 11 was being pushed into the 2.
Yeah.
You can see all the damage, oil coming out of that truck as well.
You almost wonder if Nick Sanchez missed a gear. I thought maybe he was laying back, but it looked like he started to take off and then didn't. See if something happens there. Yeah. and it just piles them up behind.
It's amazing that Nick Sanchez basically hardly has any damage to the back of that truck.
He went under him.
And Corey Haim's truck is destroyed.
I don't know that he's gonna. Yeah, you see him falling back there. He just missed a shift or something. Something broke on the truck. Just didn't go, and there was nothing Corey Haim could do.
And the spotters say they're all rolling, but it happened so fast. There's no way for the spotter to warn him.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate.
The best in the series behind him, at 38 of Zane.
Looks like a push out of line there.
Some smoke. There's some damage right there.
That's Dean Thompson, the 5 truck, with some smoke from the right front, and he's into the outside wall.
Keep it up there. Keep it up there. Keep
cut
it up
down
there.
that
Keep
right
it up
front
there.
tire.
Caution down.
Yeah, you saw the debris go flying off Jack's truck. Was he running?
He was running.
Yeah, he gets into turn 3 and the tire's going to go down. Right front tire's going to go down.
I mean, he didn't do anything wrong. He just tried, just close racing and gets cut off, and it put him in the wall.
There's a lot more take and a lot less give when we get inside of 40 laps to go here.
I'd be surprised if they can affect repairs enough to keep that tire.
Well, he's stuck in the middle right now. He doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, he's in a bind.
Stuart Friesen has made a third line down.
Oh,
trouble. Smoker. The 51 Jack Wood goes around. Grant Enfinger.
What in the world?
Was it a push gone bad or something?
17 gets behind you, spins you out.
Well, you mentioned Bailey Curry was going with them.
John Hunter Nemechek is what the radio said. John Hunter Nemechek said got into the back of him. Is what we overheard on the radio.
Well, luckily there was no damage. Just got a flat tire. Grant Enfinger went with him. Push gone wrong is what that is.
Got over on the left side of the bumper.
Oh.
Great job by Christian Eckes slipping by there. Just cat-like reflexes making those moves at 180 miles an hour.
Well done by Eckes and by Jack Wood.
Absolutely.
And John Hunter's excuse will be he's inexperienced. He didn't handle the push well. But sometimes the grisliest of veterans can't handle a push that comes off that left rear. The left rear is a very, very
sensitive area for a push.
Get a bird's eye view of it here.
Christian's going to have an eyeful right here. Jack just spins out in front of him.
Oh, wow.
That was amazing.
Let's look at the hands.
Oh, gosh.
It's the driver's eye that we saw on board now, riding along with them.
Whoa, here we go. Just that quick, and he was by. Look at him shaking his head.
He said, I can't believe I missed him.
Now, this is where it seemingly went wrong. Gets down to the left, lower side, left side.
Yeah, about a third of the way over, it looked like.
And that's just a dangerous area.
And it doesn't take just a nudge. All it was a nudge, but that was enough to get Jack turned around.
How did they all save it?
I'm just telling you, that's a...
Raja Karuth, the rookie.
Oh, up high. Are we going to go 3 wide?
We've got trucks together on the outside.
Caution's out.
Through the middle of 3 and 4. Caution comes out.
It was Carson Hocevar and Grant Enfinger, too, I think, got a piece of that, if I saw it correctly.
Yeah, Grant's coming down pit road. You see the damage to the 42 of Hocevar.
They're kind of glued together. Carson was running in 13th position, and it just went wrong back there. It looked like, I said truck slipping around, sliding up. That looked like maybe what happened there. He got slid into.
That's the 45 of Lawless Allen.
Matt Crafton, did he avoid damage? It looks like he did.
$11 laps to go. It's go time, right?
Yeah. Oh, Daniel Dye, nice job getting out of the gas. Spotter.
Nick Sanchez, let's see if they can keep it together on the outside.
An even launch.
Yeah, I thought that was a great start. Everybody trying to make sure they're in position to push. Now if we could just make it 1 lap.
On you straight, just hold a straight wheel here. Hold it straight.
That's more hard to do than it sounds. Oh, big push, Chase Purdy.
Big push. John Hunter Nemechek falling off the back of the 2.
clear to the top. That is not clear to the top.
Christian Eckes out of turn 4.
There it is.
White flag is in the air.
Nick Sanchez got a good run on the bottom.
He's going to have some help down there, too.
That's John Hunter. He knows what he's doing.
Side by side they come. Christian Eckes, the 2, and Nick Sanchez. Can he hang on?
Here comes Eckes. Watch this run. There it is to the top.
Ben Rhodes to the outside, making it 3 wide. Coming out of turn 4. Trucks in the wall. Side by side. Nick Sanchez sideways. Christian Eckes wins the race. Hangs on to it. What a day.
The caution came.
See how it happened.
Oh, getting pushed was Ankrum from Chase Purdy, and that just sent them up the hill, and they all ran out of space.
Yeah, Zane in the 38, Friesen in the 52, all involved.
Matt Crafton doing a nice job down off the racetrack, slipping by. And look at that battle up front. There it went.
Matt DiBenedetto doing a nice job avoiding that by going by on the inside. That's probably going to result in a top 5 finish for Matt.
What about a top 10 for Timmy Hill squeezing through there in the 56?
You can kind of see what runs are going to happen with and how things are moving.
Here, second king.
He's going to have a caution here.
Yep, early caution. Lap 2. It happened in turn 1. And we'll go back and pick it up with John Hunter Nemechek out front. That's the 53 of Joey Gase. Heavy damage to that race car. Good news, the window net is down for Joey, indicating to our AMR safety team that he is okay.
Oh. It looked maybe something broke or something. It was kind of like in the middle of the straightaway.
It looks like something happened to the 66. He came down and hooked the 53.
66, Cesar Baccarella making his first start of the season. Co-owner of Alpha Prime Racing is Cesar Baccarella with Tommy Joe Martins. He will race from time to time.
Something happened there to his 66. So strange how he got looped.
Taking the shortest distance approach, being able to clear him and get back up. Now, if he wasn't able to clear him there, he was going to be in trouble. You know, being stuck on the bottom.
Trouble.
Oh, we got a big wreck here.
26 Kaz Gralla, 4 Garrett Smithley. Second caution of the day.
I'm telling you guys, these cars are a handful right now. I mean, low temperatures, nobody knows exactly what they got. These cars are so difficult to drive right now.
Jeffrey Earnhardt also received some damage in that crash.
We wrecked a few of them here.
Let's go back and see what happened.
Well, the wreck's already started here. Wreck kind of went up the racetrack. There's the 4. Kind of know where to go. Once you commit to a lane, you're kind of committed. And for the driver, it's hard, right? Like right there, look at, you can't even see the 4 in the smoke. That means he can't see where he's going either. And so he's 100% relying on the spotter. Coleman, what's that like for you?
Well, obviously, it's a very difficult situation. With the high banking, you kind of look at it as a Bristol-type incident that it's going to funnel down. But because they wrecked so low, the momentum carried them up the track. So that's a 50-50 split decision. I get it. That's a tough position to be in, and unfortunately, he caught the bad end of it.
I mean, you got to say something, right? Like you got to say something, and sometimes I mean, the driver's holding the steering wheel. That's the bottom line. The driver can decide where this car is going to go no matter what, and it relies on you. But I do see a move right behind this to Justin Haley. He decided to go. Oh, here we go, another yellow.
The 02 Kyle Weatherman, back-to-back top 20s driving that 02 for Our Motorsports. Had a great run here last year. Third caution of the day, and it comes out with 14 laps to go in stage 1. Weatherman was running inside the top 15 when he had his problem.
What happened there? You see him there on the top side, gets loose, get in the corner, and just around she goes, collecting the 27 there.
There's Jeb Burton in the 27.
Here's another view. You see him, that yellow car in the top, just steps out on him pretty early in the corner.
Seems to me that whoever was behind the 0-2, he was on his left rear, and probably that didn't help the situation.
Does he have what it takes to grab the top spot?
Gonna get on the outside here, even. Still outside, even. Down. Caution's out for debris. Caution's out for debris.
And now debris. Well, this is what happens, right? You get the cautions. You try to repair the race car, and some of that patchwork comes apart, gets on the racetrack, and you have to throw the caution for debris. It's already 4 cautions on the day, and I have to believe it came off the 92 of Josh Williams.
You think?
There was more, yeah, there was more
tape
tape on that a minute ago. Yeah.
And he's currently running 4th, but that's Josh Williams, who was asked, as I told you, to go to the garage for extending the caution. The debris came off his car. He has parked his number 92 at the start-finish line, and he's walking to the garage. Look at this. What an exit.
Wave and see you later. Oh, no.
Well, he's not so happy now.
They made him park his car because he extended the caution, like you said. They didn't do a good enough job repairing the front end of it, which was obvious from here that they didn't do a good enough job keeping the tape on it. And then they parked him, and he said, fine, I'll park it right here on the start-finish line.
So, you got that bare bond, and because it's so cold, that will just not stick as well in the colder conditions, and it blows off. So, we saw him with it taped up, then we saw it all wrinkled, and then we saw it had disappeared. And then we got the caution for debris, and, we assumed it was because some of that bare bond had come off the 92. I mean...
I'm sorry, it's a little funny.
Hey, where I came from, you get into a fight because of that.
I gotta go Kirsten.
Regan wants starting to check. Sheldon Creed down low, side by side with his teammate. Final lap, stage 1 at Atlanta.
Make him chase. Make him chase. Just make him chase.
This is going to be close.
Very close.
And I want to say that was a photo finish
by an inch.
Timing and scoring says Sheldon Creed, and we have another crash on track.
Same thing. Let's see this wreck at the end of the stage. Looks like it's already started here.
91 is Chad Chastain, making his first ever start in the Xfinity Series, younger brother of Ross. And the 35 is Patrick Emmerling. Emmerling lost his teammate earlier when Joey Gase crashed. And the 91 of Chastain is a teammate to Josh Williams, and the 92 for Mario Goslin. So both of those teams having their fair share of problems today.
I think Mario is not having a...
down in that inside lane. Excuse me, Daniel.
He's back after some damage.
Yeah, I mean, those early pit stops and now a caution.
The left rear tire flat.
Yeah, no, there's the yellow. Chad Chastain.
Yeah, he was involved in a crash earlier. It looks like got a flat right front to go along with that. We'll see, he's kind of back here by himself. It just blew out by itself there. Which you gotta...
Well, he got lucky.
He got some style points for not hitting the wall there.
Yeah, he got very, very lucky. Like he didn't hit anything.
It makes you think that something probably obviously cut the tire down, probably from the damage that was there before. I bet that got his attention though. Those are the ones that get your attention. Just be going straight and all. Remember the 9 when he was on pit road with all the damage? Right front tire blew out in the 31.
Behind us, wrecker behind us.
Caution number 7. Parker Retzloff in the 31, driving for Jordan Anderson.
Yeah, Joey was right in the right front tire.
You've seen it once, you've seen it a million times, Daniel. Hey, nothing you can do as a turn in. There it goes.
And also in the worst possible spot on entry of the corner. I mean, nothing you can do right there.
Like I said, he didn't hit the wall that hard. I'd say he probably can finish the race.
Alfredo. 7 scored 5th. Couple of Fords in the bottom lane behind Brandon Jones. Sieg and Riley Herbst, big push outside. Look at the 78. I mean, Anthony Alfredo, really a man on a mission today.
Going to be interesting to see if this works. He's up trouble.
Connor Mozak, 24-11 is Daniel Hemrick, the 2021 Series champion. Oh, my. Mozak slides back up onto the racetrack, and that could have been a dangerous situation.
That was a hard hit of the 24.
They were running in.
Just get loose.
Yeah, we said how hard these things are to handle. And
I think the 11 is going to be fine. I think they're going to be able to just fix a little bit the front, the nose, and he's going to be able to continue. But the 24 is definitely out of the race. Yeah.
For Mozak, it was his second consecutive start for Sam Hunt Racing. His first 2 starts on an oval in the Xfinity Series. Last week at Phoenix, today here in Atlanta. He'll drive the road course at COTA next week. Much more of his driving style, and it's been a tough day for Sam Hunt Racing. Early crash for Kaz Grala. He is out of the race, and it certainly would appear his teammate's going to join him in the 24.
They shortened up the back of that car quite a bit. Forward, and hopefully you're in the right one wheel to make some moves and make something happen.
All the drivers you see here from right around 10th on back. Jeremy Clements, blue 51 outside lane, pushing the 8, and there goes Justin Allgaier.
Teammates.
Into the wall. 9th caution of the day.
Boys.
And that will end stage 2.
I was not expecting that. She was not expecting it either.
She's not happy either.
He was racing for 6th on track.
And I believe that was a push from 2 back that got him, but
it's a tough one, man. I mean, I felt like the 7 didn't know that he had 2 cars on his outside, and he just moved a little bit. And that was it.
That's a tough angle to call exactly what happened there.
You think about Allgaier, started the year with 3 consecutive top 3s, wins both stages last week, gets a DNF, and he'll do the same today.
It looks like the 8 made a move to get to the middle there, and the 7 didn't know it.
Yep.
There's another view of it. See, the 8 kind of moved down at the same time the 7 was coming up, and just the timing of it and things happening so quick. I mean, I hate to say it's racing, but that's just racing.
Daytona in California, but it bounced back and was doing some good things today. And hey, I said it. He needs cautions. He's got one here. This for the 35 of Patrick Emmerling. It's our 10th caution of the day, so we've now matched our record for Atlanta. And Sheldon Creed, based on timing and scoring that I see, is 2 laps down. He'll get
already sideways. Another one sideways.
Yeah. Kyle Sieg was there, and we were talking during the break about Sammy Smith. He got that penalty, restarted outside the top 20, hadn't made any ground, maybe had lost a little bit, and was running back there, able to avoid incident in that situation.
I wonder for Sammy Smith and his situation, starting that far back, you got to make these passes pretty quickly unless you're stuck in the pack that you got, right? The packs were separated. There was 3 or 4 little pods out there, and if you're wide open all the way around this place or close to it, if you don't get,
because they didn't have a gauge based on the runs we were getting early in this race. Just something to keep in mind is we'll have 8 laps to go.
And here comes a run here for the 48. He's going to have a big run from that push on the 98. Caution out.
Hard caution.
Caution, 8 laps remaining. It's our 11th caution of the day. That's a new record at Atlanta, and this time it's out for the 31 of Parker Retzloff, the rookie out of Wisconsin.
Man, that was about to get big in the turn 1. I think that was a run. He may have said, okay, it was timed out perfectly to where Parker was going to be able to go to the bottom in the 1 and maybe. See off in the distance, he got loose, and then, pretty good hit to the right front into the wall in the corner like that.
This caution could be a good thing for those drivers that had been out longer, because the caution laps obviously better on your fuel mileage. I think the issue is if you go to.
So Hemrick was laying back there trying to time the restart there.
Yeah, that really put the 78 in a very, very tough situation.
The top's hooked up here. They're going to roll down the back straightaway big time. They're going to clear the bottom lane. Now the move goes to Parker Kligerman. He don't have the run right now.
no rule against locking bumpers for the Xfinity cars here at Atlanta. Something we have to watch at Daytona, Talladega, but it's not against the rules here tonight. We're going to see the white flag this time around. 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Your leader is Austin Hill.
And right now, Parker's got to be looking for the run. He's going to have to back up to the guys in front of him. He's got to figure out what car to back up to try to get the run on Austin Hill. Right now, Austin's got it blocked. There's no run from Parker.
And remember, you can't go below the line on the inside. That is out of bounds.
Here it comes on the top. He's going to get to his outside.
Parker Kligerman going high. Help from Brett Moffitt. Daniel Hemrick shoving Austin Hill down low. They're sideways. Can they hang on? Austin Hill wins once again. He goes back to back here in Atlanta as they crash across the start-finish line.
I feel like he was sideways for a mile.
Oh,
that was a crazy finish.
On the bottom, and it literally a big push as he was sideways for a long time.
What a save, what a finish. And unofficially, Parker Kligerman comes home in third. He was backwards.
I'll take a backwards
line.
third.
That was a crazy finish. Very, very intense race, and I give a lot of credit to the 48 and 21 both. You know, they both
just no help, and that's where Hemrick was able to, he kind of slid up into Kligerman there. Kind of finished him off too there. It kind of stinks that after all that, it's got to end up in a big pile of carnage, right? Unfortunately, there's a lot of cars torn up in this one. You see the 11, he just kind of slid up the racetrack. He kind of gets underneath the line and straightens out the wheel a little bit, and just everyone ran out of real estate, unfortunately, and tore up a lot of.
It wasn't a good show. It wasn't a good product for the fans.
Kyle Busch back in 18th position, right about, oh, trouble.
Bubba Wallace in the wall. Way too early for this, 10 laps in.
Happened midway down the back straightaway. First caution of the day.
Oh, he's stuck too.
I see it. Right side tires, man. Hit your commitment line back here. Yeah, that's on the splitter.
It's like he got loose on the outside of Kyle Busch. Don't really know why. The outcome is he's loose and in the wall in the backstretch. Off of 2.
Wallace was running 19th.
Yeah, all by himself. And early in the race like that, he probably knew before that instant that he was loose and was probably having to guard it. He probably moved to the top side, not only for the speed, but if your car's loose, you move up, you're not tugging on the wheel quite as hard.
Here's his DoorDash onboard cam.
You hear him pedaling it. That baby come out from underneath of him. You heard him starting to pedal it with the throttle. The rest is history. Turned him right around. Now you're going to hear a lot of frustration if they open that radio.
You're watching his hands right here on the steering wheel. Oh, big correction to the right.
Did you see him reach down and kick it out of gear? That was a good move. Has his foot on the clutch, trying to save the car, save the engine. Unfortunately, ended up on the wall.
You can't sit there and wait any longer to the end of the race to start working your way up there and trying to establish that track position. You got to go now.
I want to hear Tim Fedewa. Let's.
Whoa! He got turned by Chastain, and around they go.
Your brake.
Kyle Busch is around.
Josh Berry, Buescher into the wall. Josh Berry, a lot of damage on the front of the 9. That's all it took. We were just fixing to say, let's listen in to Tim Fedewa, talking into this blocking situation. The one got hard into his left rear and just turned him around. Pretty aggressive.
Let's have a look. On the inside, first 2 cars on the inside.
Well, look at the gap. First and foremost, closing in on him pretty hard. It wasn't on his left rear, though. Kind of moved across the rear bumper, I will say that.
He did a good. He closed in at such a high rate going into turn one. It wasn't like he just went in there and drove into the back of the 4 car. He got it woed down, but he was there and trying to give that push, and it just, like you said, he started on the right side, and then as it moved to the left side, that's when the car switched.
I think that's just aggression picking up. And as he did, I think his thought was right. Got on the right rear. I don't think it obviously wasn't intentional. And when he got to him with that head of steam, it got Kevin starting to get sideways. And by the time it was all said and done, now you're on his left rear, Tony, and where you really don't want to be. And look at the disaster.
All right, here's the Advent Health cam and radio in Ross Chastain's car.
There's the right rear.
Any damage? No, sir. I didn't touch him. All right, be saving gas under caution.
Bubba Wallace.
Check apart, check apart.
Well, it was pretty obvious the aggression had picked up in a big way, and you knew something like this was imminent. And unfortunately, started right at the first of the pack, and when it does, it takes a bunch of them with it.
Here's the Monster Energy cam, Ty Gibbs.
Did a really good job right there. Didn't have a lot of options and got it woed down. Little slight contact with the 3, but did a really good job of getting through that.
And Tyler Reddick.
Like we thought, and slammed into him and turned him around with aggression.
It is so close, and even if he did touch him, I'm going to say he touched him. He didn't slam him by any means if he touched him at all. But like you mentioned, you saw that car of Chastain start from the right rear corner, and when it went to the left side, that's when it freed Harvick's car up.
Well, the reason it did is because Harvick was loose. That's what, look. The reason you go from the right rear to the left side is because Harvick is extremely loose in front of you and chasing up the racetrack. Hey, everybody's quick to judge old Ross, and so should have floored it.
Now, we had 26 cars on the lead lap. Denny Hamlin trying to come out as Ty Dillon coming in. Who's got the right of way there?
Well, they both do. The hard part is, especially when you come in and you're just taking fuel only like that, you still have the back of the guys coming in as the leaders are pulling back out.
You can't have an intersection with both of them having the right of way, Tony.
You can in NASCAR.
It never works. Look at the tire marks out there.
Ross was out there, and Kyle was going to keep him out there. So Josh Berry and Martin Truex are going to start at Benz. They were running 1-2. Here's a look at it.
Blew a tire. You heard Larry tell us 45 laps on them tires. Long ways to go. The only ones that stayed out. Blew a right rear tire right in front of the field. Took out Larson.
Here's from the Coca-Cola Zero Sugar cam on board Denny Hamlin. Those were 72 lap tires on Almirola's car. And from Christopher Bell and the Toyota cam.
Kyle slammed in that wall pretty hard, out of his car, already loaded up in the ambulance. Frustrated, obviously. Right in front of him, right in his lap, nothing he could do. Tried to check up. Man.
But importantly, Larson walked away.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, because this is a big hit when this swings around driver's side of the safer barrier.
Eric Almirola out of his car, and he appears to be okay. Oh, Daniel Suarez. Justin Haley involved, Tyler Reddick as well.
It knocked the wind out of me. I don't know how it can keep going this way for us, boys. You keep bringing me fast race cars. One of these days we'll get the finish. Sorry.
That was Eric Almirola. Had the wind knocked out of him. Corey LaJoie right in the middle there, that number 7.
Coming to white
now behind
flag.
Logano. White flag, 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Pick your block here. It's going up. He blocked him, much like we saw.
Outside. You got help coming. Outside, Joey.
Put Logano right on the outside where he wanted to be.
Bell with a big push.
Big push coming bottom.
Now LaJoie to help Keselowski on the bottom. And the car that has led 139 laps today is going to lead 140. Joey Logano dominates Atlanta for Team Penske and Ford.
Wow. Takes me right back. Put him on that outside. Exactly where he wanted to be. Somehow, some way, he found a way to get there. Brad made a good block. There was just too many of them. You got to pick one of them or the other. You heard him talking and managing that all day long. He chose to go with believe it or not, Logano, which was coming on the bottom. And somehow he got to this outside by the time it was all said and done.
And that all started with Bell in turn 3 dropping to the bottom. It created all that havoc and started getting that chain unlinked.
And unlike every
car, guys. Freaking animal of a car. Awesome. Yes! Atlanta!
48 spins, the caution comes out.
Left rear looks flat. It looks like it was flat early.
4 tires.
There's damage to the quarter panel that would kind of show up from a flat tire. You see it right there, already down, and you see the folded up behind it. At the speed of this spin, I would imagine this was a left rear tire.
So Parker Kligerman straightens it out. He'll make his way onto pit road, but a wild ride for the 48. Left rear tire is down. Parker Kligerman goes around, and the caution comes out. All right, Junior, Jeff, guys, get back up here to the booth. They don't need your help on pit road. NBC Sports coverage of NASCAR on USA is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Progressive. Save when you bundle motorcycle, RV, and boat insurance. Visit progressive.com. Caution comes out for Parker Kligerman, losing the left rear tire on that 48.
For the driver, the 36 yellow out.
Cautions come out. And a lot of damage to the 44 of Greg Van Alst.
Greg won the ARCA race at Daytona earlier this year. Had a little bit of issue in qualifying, as now we see flames kind of burst out of the back of the car. He has definitely made some.
If you need to get out, you can. But you're going to have to take a ride to the.
Yeah, it's contact. He's kind of doing his own thing.
A little bit loose. Corrects. Now we're headed up the track.
So the sparks come out there.
And then you just see the damage. I don't see it's not like it's tracking a ton of fluid right there, though. So I think maybe the fluid is a result of the impact.
Yeah, it probably knocked when it hit the right rear, it probably bit the Panhard bar.
Yeah.
And then it got into the rear end cooler.
Rear end cooler, oil tank, to your point, Jeff, right? Once the truck arm and after contact,
all the way across.
Sparks coming out from underneath the right side of the 19. He's going to try to get down.
Oh!
Pit road, but a big wreck. Ryan Sieg is involved. The one of Sam Mayer sneaks through. The 78 also there. Anthony Alfredo.
The 2 is in it. Sheldon Creed, we just heard he had to go to the back.
Look at the damage to Ryan Sieg's 39. .36 also. Kyle Weatherman has damage.
3 wide. It's just much tighter here than it is at all the other tracks. Something happened in front. Looked like the 98 was having a problem.
Yeah, Riley Herbst was way off pace and looked like he was getting sideways in front of him.
We'll see that again. And
Riley gets loose.
And lifts.
And he's even looser. I wonder if he's got a left rear tire down. He does. He's got a left rear tire flat. So coming around there the lap before, the 19 has a tire issue. I wonder if they are running over something, possibly running over something that cut the left rear tire on that 98 car.
And possibly the 19, as you mentioned.
Yeah, so could be something on the racetrack up there. Maybe come from the 19 car from the lap before. You see the left rear tire, though, is about to come apart.
Yeah, and that just stacks them up. Maybe if they were 2 wide, they had a chance. But 3 wide, there was no chance. Pretty good contact for the 39. And then everyone else is just in wreck avoidance.
Open out front here, south side. So there, stay low here, stay low, come down, stay, check. Come out front here, up. You can stay down, just make your way through here.
That's a good job, good patience. Sometimes it's hard to have that much patience to slow the car down.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate for all of these cars. All started with a tire going down. They just all got stacked up. You can't see through the cars. If somebody has a problem, you can't see 2 rows in front, and everybody just like going down the interstate. Something happens in time, and then make the move, and then find a hole to get in. Otherwise, he keeps trying to make moves, and it doesn't work, and he falls further to the back.
Cautions just come out. And a lot of damage for Kyle Weatherman.
Yes.
The right side of that car is destroyed. Kyle's been involved in a few accidents.
Pretty hard.
Kyle Weatherman's car, take a look at how it happened.
Yeah, you see the car spark on corner entry, right front clearly flat. You know this is going to be a bad angle right here. You can see why the damage was so severe. Kind of the top of the screen. He's going to come into screen. Look at this. Oof.
By the damage, it looked a lot harder than that. Yeah. I think he was, having the flat early, recognizing it as he turns into the corner, kind of took some of the, how aggressive the angle could have been on impact out. So that was kind of good to see, because when we see this car laid up against the inside pit wall, it looked like a tremendous hit. He's unbuckling the hit. Went in. Haley's trying to drag. Oh, we got a spin right here.
Sideways, the 24 of Parker Chase.
He's kind of on the entry to pit road, though. He might spin at pit road. We're staying green.
Here comes the 20. The 11 gets loose again. Big run down the back straightaway.
21 involved as well as he gets a run. Now he peaks up high, but no opening. The 48 gets to his back bumper and around goes the 21.
Stay in the gas, keep off the wall, stay in the gas, stay in the gas.
Caution comes out.
Combination of things happening.
We need to keep rolling. The leaders are middle of the back. If the tires are up, we need to keep rolling.
Combination of things. It didn't quite get to the bottom of the racetrack, and Parker doesn't touch him, but the air off of the nose of the 48 disturbs the back of the 21, and and Olney's old tires right at this limit, right on the edge. That's all it takes. No contact there, but certainly the air disturbing the back of that 21.
It's like the air is disturbing it, and the 21 knows he wants to block the 48, right? So he's tugging the wheel probably, trying to not allow the 48 that full lane.
Yeah, watch the 20. The 20 comes up in front of the 21, so now he's in a horrible position. The 48 is pushing the air onto the left rear quarter panel, pulling air off the spoiler. The 20 pulls up in front of him. That takes all the air off of him. Around he goes. Look, all that happened at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, you even wonder if the lap car's not there, if there's another car length to the right, if Austin Hill can save it off the corner. But he just runs out of real estate. This is zoomed in. Look at this right here.
Yeah, I mean, see the 20 sliding up. He's got the air off. The 48 is packing the air on the left rear quarter panel. Old tires, like you said, Junior, and around it goes. That isn't a wreck that happens on lap 10 of a run.
Yeah.
Those old tires, you can see everybody sliding around.
Okay.
Hill right around here.
Some takers there.
There's Parker Chase on the outside of Balicki.
Yeah, Balicki just gets into the left rear there. Not sure if the 24 was coming down the racetrack. Were they side by side down the back straightaway? What was everything that happened to lead to that moment? But harmless spin, but it does put us in a precarious situation.
So we talked a lot about tires, but you mentioned the cars on the apron. Let's talk about fuel. There's been 23 laps.
Nemechek on the inside. Haley on the outside. No help for Haley. They're running out of gas behind him.
That's absolutely right, Rick. We have a car out of gas that ruined that run on the outside lane.
Some falling back, some moving forward. Now John Hunter Nemechek has a car length in front of Daniel Hemrick in the 11. If they get back around to the white flag before a caution comes out, the next flag will end the race. Big run coming out of turn 4. Haley trying to get the spot back. White flag in the air one more time around.
Whatever you need to send 1.5 off Dyson.
John Hunter Nemechek, 2 wins already this year. Looking for number 3. Daniel Hemrick with a big run.
Off. Keep it the 11.
Can't find a way around.
Stay splitting it. Stay straddling it.
John Hunter Nemechek hugging the bottom of the track. Nemechek is going to win in Atlanta.
Come on. Yeah! Attaboy, buddy. Good job.
First caution comes out here at Atlanta. It's for Harrison Burton, who spins coming off of turn 2. And the AMR safety crew to him. He was trying to roll forward. Tires are down and he's stuck. He can't roll.
Yeah, so you see center of the lane, just a big wiggle. He was on the outside of the 19. You see the big wiggle. Great save. Great wreck avoidance by the 11 of Hamlin, the 38 of Todd Gilliland. And then the 21 just has no choice but to lock it down. Fortunately, pretty light contact to the inside wall. But watch right there. You see that wiggle? That could have been a very big accident into the outside wall. A great job by Harrison, and fortunate that the drivers behind him. I mean, look at this. Denny Hamlin has him lined up. So does it the 38. Yep. Such a great job by those drivers.
Just breaks loose there coming out of turn 2. Around he goes. We're riding along with Denny here.
Yeah, you're going to want to hold your breath. Watch this.
With you trying to put your middle. Watch you stay in it here. Come on, stay in it. Come on.
You know, we talk a lot about
around both cars. Can he clear them?
Almirola continuing to drop back. Bell does clear the 45. He's sideways. He's able to catch it.
What a save. Wow. That was insane.
That was a wreck. Wreck. I mean, he left tire tracks at 175 miles an hour.
They might not be done. Look at how it's stacked up.
Has fallen back. Now he's on the front bumper of the 16 of Allmendinger. Take another look at what happened.
That was Almirola trying to fill that hole, and then on the front straight, Bell coming up. Oh, the 2 gets in the right rear quarter panel. That was an incredible save.
Out of these cars trying to fit their car in an opening that is barely wide enough to let them go in, and the caution has come out as the 24 slides sideways.
Remember, this is one of those cars that had a penalty the last time he was down pit road, got cycled to the back, trying to work his way back up through traffic. You talked about mistakes, Rick.
One down, the right rear's down.
Oh, he's trying to keep it moving with the flat right rear tire. You know, mistakes get compounded. He had some track position.
There, right?
He was running 5th at the end of that stage, right? And he had to go back into traffic. Everyone needs fuel to kind of make it to that official race distance. And with 80 laps to go, I assume pit road's going to be busy. Let's take a look there, drivers.
Well, he's already around, but we heard on the radio, we heard him say, I think I just got hooked right there. See what happens right here. LaJoy underneath him.
Go clear.
Man, Corey just comes across the racetrack right into his left rear.
He's coming here. Trying to get it.
Spins him out. I don't know how you see that any other way.
I agree. I mean, it looks awkward because of the kinks on the straightaway, but if I reference every other car, the 24 looks like he's tracking like everyone else. It's the 7 that looks like he's changing lanes.
Sideways for William Byron. As you mentioned, he was running 24th.
The good thing is he got it rolling. You know, these cars, at Daytona Talladega, and here, if you flat spot enough tires and flat them, the car will get stuck on the racetrack. You can't move it. You'll lose a ton of laps. Marty.
Yeah, that was spotter Brandon Line.
Haley back into the picture in that 31.
Oh, we got a spin in the back. I believe it's a 5. Larson's around in front of the field.
Still sliding, but not a lot of contact. Looks like the 14 of Briscoe avoiding. He got turned around as well.
62, Austin Hill. Both those cars were kind of stuck together, headed down pit road, Rick. Larson's going to come on to pit road, the 5 and the 43, Eric Jones. So the 5 is loose now. He just gets loose, and it's before Eric ever touched him, he got sideways. It's slick out there. You know, there's moments where you have a lot of grip and you build confidence. And then you find yourself in a situation like that. Even some of the best drivers in the world can't escape from. This track is something else.
He was running 14th. Great job. Almost everyone avoiding him. Sideways, as you mentioned, in front of the pack.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that the 43 wasn't into the back of the 5.
Yeah.
It looked like to me there was some contact there before Larson got loose.
Yeah, we'll have to see a closer look at it. I thought Larson got a little bit sideways before the contact was made.
Here it is right here. I don't know. It's so hard to tell from that. But we keep hearing the drivers talk about being loose, and wouldn't surprise me that he was a little bit loose before the contact.
Yeah, I thought the first look at it give us a really good shot of where the bumpers.
And the 5's out of the gas right there.
Yep. Now he's loose. I don't think they're contact yet till right there.
Yeah.
It just, you know.
You can see the gap from the 2 car. It got bigger. And so that's clearly the 5 out of the gas, 2 driving away from him.
Yep.
He was out of the gas because he was loose.
Eric tried to give him a chance to save it, but Eric's going to get run over. Eric's going to get run over too if he's, you know, out of the gas too much. So you can't look in the mirror and be watching.
Inside.
Bowman says, man, I want to be a part of this.
He keeps clawing his way back into this top 5. We've seen him get. Oh, we got a big crash.
LaJoie goes around in front of the pack. How many will get collected? The 19's able to avoid. Chastain looking like he may have had a piece of it.
Yeah, he's got some right front damage.
This has been where the chaos has been for the last 15 laps. I'm surprised we haven't seen this wreck before. Big damage on the 54.
Ty Gibbs will be limping back to pit road if he can't.
3 wide, the 43. Eric Jones into the left rear of the 7. He chases it up the track into the door. Reddick. 21, or the 1 car, I'm sorry, jumps the left side of the 54. That's pretty hard contact.
Eric Jones had a big run, and he just. Well, it looks like the 7 actually came down. It looks like I thought the 43 was going up into the 7, but it looked like the 7 actually came down on the 43. Oh, look at that.
Big contact with the 1 of Ross Chastain.
Yeah, watch this one come through, jump the left front right there. Truex on the binders, slowing it down, locking the left front up there. Riding on board here, the 54 of Ty Gibbs. Yeah, the 7 did. I mean, the 43 held his line. He wasn't all the way against the apron, but the 7 does come down slightly. Kind of a racing deal. You know, the 43 is not perfectly low, but just kind of came together there. And it has been wild, like you guys said, right there around that 1 car. That wide draft Brad, but he knows that's not going to help Brad. That's going to hurt his team. Contact!
11's going to go around. He got tagged by the 48. They both get collected, slide into the infield, and the caution comes out.
Right there if you can, drive straight.
They were 3 wide. The 48 slid up the racetrack, caught the back of the 11, and around he went.
Running in 7th and 8th position. Absolutely, Rick. Looked like the 78 up, or the 48 up the racetrack. Good save by the 11. This is going to tear up that 48 car as he tries to get around here on a flat right front tire.
Take another look.
48 gets loose right here. Looks like, yep, loose up the track he goes. How does he get contact here? Yeah, just 11 down the track, and he just has to lock it up.
I've been watching Alex Bowman. He's had his hands full. I've seen him multiple times have to be all the way out of the gas off of turn 2. People stacking up behind him. You can see right here, He knows he's in trouble. You saw the flames come out of the exhaust pipe. That was him out of the gas. Just couldn't keep it off of Hamlin.
Bubba Wallace, Justin Haley, both clearing him. There's Michael McDowell going through the grass.
Mike McDowell's actually recovering pretty well from that damage earlier.
This is what we talked about, guys, when this race started. We had no idea, and the teams had no idea how much handling was going to matter. And had they made the right adjustments, remember, there was no practice here, only qualifying. So the teams never ran in these packs.
Your middle, middle, clear high. Hang on to it there, hang on to it. 48 got us, lock it down, lock it down. Drive straight there.
I love how the spotter in mid-wreck says 48 got us. Go ahead and let them know what happened.
Now, what does NASCAR do here? What do you think, Steve? 4 to go before the end of the stage. You got rain. What do you do?
Well, the interesting thing is, you know, they have to make a decision. They won't open pit.
Gilliland. He clears.
Byron looking for his 4th win already, the winningest driver in 2023. Allmendinger right in his tire tracks, and around goes Kevin Harvick.
He's on the apron, though. Green. Right now, we see no caution.
He's in turns 1 and 2.
Running 21st when he spun out of the pack.
In the outside lane, but as a driver, there's just not much you can do.
And he's running on fumes now. That's the driver of the 34.
Oh, we got a spin.
They're spinning back in 5th and 6th. Ryan Preece is around. Wallace also caught up in this.
All right.
Caution has come out.
Now the cars that are short on fuel are in full save mode, hoping that they're going to get some drops on the race.
Drops in turn 4. Let's see what happened in this wreck.
Right side of the screen, the 41 lifting for the 12, gets tagged by the 47 of Stenhouse down the racetrack into the right front of Bubba Wallace.
Look at Chris Buescher doing a nice job of getting slowed down. Denny Hamlin threads his way through.
I'm with you, Jeff. I think if you're, if you got a pit, you're going to have to probably push it as long as you can on this yellow flag. Do you stay out to the very end of the 1 to go signal and then come down pit road?
I think the only car that has to pit is Michael McDowell. He was last on pit road at lap 95. So he is basically on fumes. Take a look on board with the 11.
Oh boy. Watch him right here. Easy. Get down. Up.
You can see how he just couldn't get slowed down. Kevin Harvick. Wow, that was...
Not sure what started that.
Yeah.
11 came down on him.
Oh, yeah. Contact with the 11.
Hold her down here. Get her straight. We'll be fine.
I'm sure they're pretty frustrated. No caution.
You see the word on the top of the pylon, checkered. That means that NASCAR has called the race due to weather. William Byron gets his 4th win of the season, his 8th career win overall, and all smiles for young William Byron as he was able to be in the right place at the right time when the weather came in. Marty.
And chatting it over with Michael McDowell.
One of the guys that's taken that extreme high line is that Eckes, and he tries to squeeze in a hole that isn't there.
It just wasn't there. That's Jake Garcia, the 13 truck.
I think that was Tom Majeski
right in front of him.
Yeah, and look how close this is. Couple of fast trucks. We talked about Garcia. We talked about Lane Riggs.
And look at Sanchez going by the 2 truck on the very bottom of the apron of the racetrack.
That does a great job of not letting that truck weave back up in front of that traffic. Kept her low.
Looked like the 38 of Lane Riggs has some damage from that contact. Here's another look.
Tries to squeeze in a hole that isn't there.
It might have been there for a split second, and that's the thing, that these holes close up so fast.
Ooh, there's the contact right there.
Because of the way these trucks with the big cabs, the way they close, their closing rate is so much. Teammate coming up to help Bailey.
Oh, we got a truck going around. The 91 at Jack Wood, right The infield grass right in front of the start-finish line, and the yellow flag is out for the fourth
Does he
time.
try to get in a hole that's not there? He does. That's a shame.
Gets into the 32, I believe. Was that Brett Holmes?
And that's what we're seeing, you know, as the race goes on, trying to squeeze in. It's happened from the beginning, just trying to squeeze in holes that just aren't quite there. Sometimes if your spotter yells, clear up, you better make sure you're clear up.
It might have been that way for that instant, but the
front straightaway. And what you're going to see is this is a little tricky area. He had to check up a little bit not to run into Jeff Burton, and then that just kind of gets things a little stacked up. And he just gets pushed around. Little slide does a good job at keeping it down. This is where you get nervous when you see someone sliding into one, is if they're going to come back up the racetrack and wipe out a bunch of cars. JJ, experienced driver, did a good job at holding the bottom while he's spinning. After that, he's going to need 4 tires and a change of pants.
So you better get off the bottom as quick as you can.
Well, why is that? A little bit more banking. You get trapped on the bottom like you said.
Trouble! One car slides to the infield, Austin Dillon, and they pile up behind him.
That's 2 weeks in a row early out for Austin Dillon. I don't know how much damage he has, but there's a bunch of them, folks. You got...
Yeah, and Clint, as we go back and look at this, you're going to see them all stack up. Where's the risk, right? You know, you start at the back of these fields and you put yourself in harm's way, but man, that is not what a lot of these guys wanted to see early. This is
accordion effect. We saw it at Daytona time and time again. Look at the accordion back here.
What happened was Todd Gilliland trying to make a hole for Michael McDowell to get up in that preferred lane in the middle, stack that whole lineup really hard.
Those guys had nowhere to go, didn't see it, landed right in their lap.
What a mess. Watch Todd Gilliland, the 38 car right here. He's going to check up to try to make a hole for Michael McDowell, and it checks up this whole line. And all of a sudden, that accordion just gets deep.
Denny Hamlin just missed the 3.
You see Harrison Burton around.
We're under caution. Just 2 laps into the Ambetter Health 400 in Atlanta. This car to the garage. Repairs complete on Chase Elliott and Noah Gregson. Only Alex Bowman still sits on pit road as a result of this.
Offset to the car in front of him, and he's already loose, and this corner is notorious for just losing grip like that. And with that right front fender staggered from the car in front of him, it just stepped out on him. Got lucky. William Byron.
So did William Byron, yeah. And hey, they're going to put 4 new Goodyears on that car right there and be just fine. Probably an adjustment. I need a round of wedge, Kevin.
Yeah, and you see him just up here in clean air, and that right front fender just amplifies everything that he has going on with this car. I'm telling you guys, this is going to be a long day for him.
Now this is William Byron. Talk about close calls. 467 races, finally got his first career pole, and he's got the nose of that car in the wind.
Denny Hamlin
around goes Hamlin. Sliding down toward the apron in turn number 1, and caution is out. Hamlin was in 6th place.
You can see him and Kyle Busch on the bottom. Kyle comes up, gets into his left rear corner, and turns him around.
Yeah, and that would look like the classic case of one going up, one coming down. These cars are just, I mean, that was pretty heavy contact, but they're light going through the front straightaway like that through the quad oval.
From the 8.
It pulled him in. He definitely lifted big time before they hit.
Yeah, he did everything he could do right there. I still think that the 11 was coming down a little bit, but when Kyle saw him coming down a little bit.
No, but when they do make a mistake like that in front of you and you're down low, that's where it's problematic.
Oh, crash! William Byron and Michael McDowell have crashed on the apron.
Get back going if you can.
No caution.
No caution yet.
They're
not going to want to throw it because of the scenario that it would unfold.
William Byron slowing for pit road behind Kyle Larson. And McDowell locks him up.
Rear tire. You saw the smoke come out of the rear tires right there, and that thing started sliding, and he just lost control of his car and hit William Byron.
Once again, no caution flag. BJ McLeod too fast on pit road, and now the leader, Bubba Wallace, is coming to pit lane.
Two green, no mistakes, two green on pit road.
Just that right rear tire locked up and shot the thing around.
The double line to improve your position. You will get a penalty.
He certainly got rammed.
Oh,
reckon
no, Logano. Busher, Hamlin pile up on the last lap of stage 2.
Yeah, and that was just a late block from what I saw right there. And as these cars get close, both of them are going to get tight. You see the flames come out of the pipe of Joey Logano's car, and those cars are almost stuck together. They aren't stuck together, but from an aero standpoint, they are stuck together and just want to go straight.
Well, the air off the 22 changing direction there is why the 17 got tight, right? He goes up. It was pretty obvious to me that he was trying to fill that gap, slow the block, slow the run by Busher. And as soon as he moved, not only did he get tight, Busher did as well.
Yeah, and you see him sliding down the back straightaway here. The 11 car of Denny Hamlin had a lot of contact, but you're going to see Joey Logano come up, and when he gets behind this 12 car right here, that's when the thing takes off.
You can hear him live before the contact.
And that's what we've been talking about all day, is when these cars get behind one another, they just lose all that front downforce, and the front...
That air is so important, and you could see it firsthand right there with Busher. As soon as that 22 car moved in front of him, he went to move, and that thing was along for the ride.
This is Chris Busher. Wow.
See Gilliland falling off a little bit, maybe some handling woes.
Oh, big spinner down to the apron, up toward traffic. It is Chase Elliott.
Did a good job keeping that car down.
Caution.
The throttle. Caution is out.
They're rolling if you can.
Excuse me, Chase Elliott 3 wide. Chastain gets to his bumper, getting into the corner. Got into him. Turns him around.
Yeah, and that's right in that vulnerable spot of the bumps and where you're trying to let off the throttle. So hard to tell exactly what happened there. Obviously, the one car is in the back of him, but did Chase lift?
Well, for one thing,
here we go.
Chastain and Bubba Wallace are racing for the free pass position.
Yeah, and you see the one car really hard into the back of the
Chase
of the 9
was in a
car
bad
there.
spot. I think you nailed it. He was 3 wide getting in, needed to lift a little bit to save his car. Chastain ran him over. All right, Larry.
See him go in right there, go up the racetrack, get a little bit loose. The car gets away. 7 and 5 pile in.
5, 6, and 7.
And that's how close these cars to being on the edge are. You see Brad just wiggle a little bit, but every single corner is just like that for these drivers. You are making small corrections with the wheels lap after lap, and with all these cars and all this energy, you're doing everything that you can do. As we take a look from the back bumper of Brad Keselowski, you see him wiggle, start to slide. 5 and 7.
Joy's view. Minor damage to LaJoy.
As we go on board here with Kyle, Brad steps out. He's just wrong place, wrong time, and that's just bad luck. And you want to race
the speed in the 14 is what makes him dangerous. He's able to 4 wide. Puts him in bad spots. There he goes. He's around.
Off the nose of Denny Hamlin, who also was involved. Chase Briscoe. Larry, you missed it by a lap. I'm sorry, buddy.
Well, and that's exactly what we talked about, Clint. You know, Briscoe just kept putting his car in position after position. Bubba Wallace tried to go through the middle, and they were 2 wide below him, and he just lost it.
Shot the gap one too many times.
Yeah, and you want to be aggressive, and you want to keep doing everything that you need to do to go forward, but at that particular point, he just got a little tap from the 11 underneath him there because they were 4 wide. There was just nowhere to go and wound up getting spun out.
Can't say he wasn't going for it.
Yeah, and that's just, you know, they're too wide below Chase there, and Spider's got
giving up anything. That hurt us in qualifying, but here we are at the end. We got cars together, Mike.
The 4 into the fence. And the 9 of Chase Elliott goes for a double spin there. Whoa, close call.
And when we talk about tight, for those of you at home that don't know, we see the 23 car and the 4 have a little contact, and the 4.
Basically the aftermath of all of that transpired getting into 1. Finally wrecked down the backstretch.
When we talk about tight, that means the front tires won't turn. So Austin Cindric went into that corner, and the front of his car just would not steer, and he gets stuck in the middle, and you see the 23 car get a little bit loose, and then Josh Berry check up just a little bit and got loose behind him and spun out.
I'm glad we saw that angle right there. That movement of air is what made Berry loose. As soon as he got loose in front of him, it took the air off of his car. That wake in front of him dumped all the air off of his, and boy, around it went.
Yeah, and a lot of times in that situation, Clint, when you've got the wheel in it like that and you just check up, that car will sometimes just unload and spin out. It's hard to tell if the 4 car had to check up right there when the 23 got a little bit sideways there, but
that just lifted Carson Hocevar.
Yeah, it was amazing. As soon as Wallace's car got loose, that thing followed suit right behind him.
that second row there.
1 lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank.
It's all going to come down to getting into 3, I think. Here comes the energy. Here comes the support from the back. That 3rd row. Where does he block? Does he block high? Does he block low? Here it comes. Kyle Busch to the middle. Shooting a gap. No help with Kyle Busch.
Oh, Suarez right alongside him. 3 wide. Off turn 4. Here they come to the flag. 3 abreast. Photo finish.
I think it's Blaney. Unbelievable. 3 wide finish. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Scoring.
Finish is under review.
Scoring has the margin between the first 3 cars at 0.00 seconds.
How awesome was that?
The race finish is under review.
How about that? Freeze frame, stop motion to the line. That's too close to call. Unbelievable.
I thought it was Blaney, but that picture right there, I think they all win. Unbelievable. That was awesome.
NASCAR was reviewing.
99, 12 in the 8. Race winner is the 99.
How about that? Daniel Suarez, the 32-year-old from Monterrey, Mexico, gets his 2nd Cup career win. His first one came last June at Sonoma.
This is a very popular win. Daniel Suarez, I said it last week in Daytona, he was in that picture at the end of that thing. Boy, was he here again at Atlanta.
Yeah, and this last half a lap was just absolutely unbelievable. As they go into turn 3, Kyle Busch is going to get a huge push by Bubba Wallace. Blaney doesn't pull up to get the middle lane blocked, and Kyle Busch puts it right on the outside of Blaney, woes them all down. Bubba Wallace gets tight, so really at this point it's a race between these 3 guys coming to the start-finish line, and it's just a drag race and nobody's going anywhere, and it comes down to a dead heat between the 3 of them at the start-finish line. What? That's unbelievable.
We'll believe it. That was awesome. And I love what you said there. As soon as Wallace slid up, it eliminated all the help from behind. At that moment, you knew it was a 3-car drag race to the finish. And Daniel Suarez, how about Jamigo? Huge win for him. That's going to be very popular.
7th win for Trackhouse Racing. Their last came at Phoenix in November in the season finale. And Chevrolet doubles up with wins at Daytona and Atlanta. There's a high 5. What a finish.
What a finish. What a race.
Day.
Yeah, and night.
It's my new favorite track, boys.
NASCAR has a high-speed imaging camera aimed right at the start-finish line, perpendicular to it. They review that footage, plus the footage from all Fox and NASCAR cameras that are fed into NASCAR Control in order to determine the winner.
Man, Kyle went for it. Shot that gap. He was there. I know he's frustrated. but holy cow, being a part of that 3-wide finish, teammate or team owner Justin Marks.
Hell yeah, buddy! Here we go! Hell yeah, brother! Hell yeah! Oh my God! I love you, man! I love you, man! Oh my God!
Regan Smith, what a finish.
What a finish indeed. Daniel Suarez, it is a mob scene down here with your team. He's got the piñata, and the piñata is busted. What an amazing finish, Daniel. You found a way to get to the outside there. Did you know you had it at the line? Because none of us did.
It was so damn close, man. It was so damn close. You know, it was good racing. Ryan Blaney there, Kyle Busch, Austin Hendrick Cendric also was doing a great job giving pushes. In the back straightaway, he didn't push me because he knew I was going to fight his teammate, but man, what a job, you know. We wrecked lap 2. The guy did an amazing job fixing this car. So, man, I can thank everyone enough. Trackhouse Racing, Freeway Insurance, Chevrolet, all the amazing fans here. Woo! Let's go!
Daniel Suarez, your winner in Atlanta.
Out of the one of Sam Mayer, there has been some contact with the wall as the back bumper is completely off and now bursts into flames. Caution is out.
Yellow's out.
This fire right here, you have to wonder, see some damage on the front as well. Is there more to this story? Was it an engine that expired, which made him get into the wall? Did he get into his own oil? It's rare that you see that much fire just from hitting the fence on the right side, or did it pull an oil line or something off, some sort of accelerant? Sam quickly gets out of the car.
Not wasting any time.
It almost looks
the crew there to assist Mayer. That was the reason.
Yeah, I wondered if it was an engine. I just think it had to be some sort of oil or something after contact, because that's just a wreck on the racetrack.
Yeah, just not clear.
Got
into
the
Kevin
wall.
Hamlin, we heard on the radio saying that one's on me. So we didn't get to hear the radio, but from that, it sounds like Kevin Hamlin is saying that one's on me. So he must have been telling Sam there was room up. There was absolutely not space for a car. The 19 of Gray was in the gas and not letting him up.
You know, watch this as it carries on. The fire came into the cockpit for just a moment, and there's temperature sensors that actually, once it gets to a certain temperature, it activates the fire extinguisher. And I think that's what that is right there, Steve, in the trunk. It's putting it out. But that's just, again, we've heard spotters take the blame for calling someone clear, and they're not clear. But there's only one driver. The driver's got to make this call, and that's just how it is. Kevin Hamlin's one of the best spotters in the business, but only one guy's going to the infield care center, and that's the driver. Driver's got to be responsible for it. And again, I think just this right here, you see the fire extinguishes, but you see it in the car there for just a moment.
Yeah, obviously, I mentioned an accelerant. You know, when the right front hits, something happens, right? An oil line or some sort of fluid has to be leaking, and then the fire gets put out. A scary moment right there when you see that fireball.
Makes you wonder it's like a rear end line or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like something has come off. There's some sort of lubricant that's caught on fire. And then you mentioned the temperature sensor, much like think about a sprinkler system in commercial building. It's the same idea concept wise, right? It tells that there's a fire and it puts the extinguisher system out there, and right there. Fire.
That was really fast and definitely the best car I've ever had here. So we're going to have a lot of fun with this the rest of the year and keep on digging.
Up into the wall, and when we get a caution, it's SVG. Sure enough, the caution comes out. He's going to make the hard left-hand turn to get onto pit road.
And that's going to put Ryan
where they need. Let's see what happens to the 97.
Tries to make a move to the outside of Sammy Smith and just lost control of his car.
Yeah, I like what he was thinking. We've seen the 7 do that move. You get to the outside of the 8, and then you have position on quarter exit, but either a little bit of dust up there or just loose in general. Yeah, I mean, I like what he was. That, to me, is SVG learning, watching the 7, watching some other guys, and then he put his car in that position. Now he made a little mistake or the car couldn't handle it, but that will go into the notebook. Unfortunately for this situation, pretty heavy damage.
And SVG had been for third, as we still see the 7 moving up. Caution has come out.
Caution's out. Caution's out.
Spin in 3 and 4.
I think now we know why the 27 was so loose.
Jeff Burton spins in 3 and 4 and brings caution out for the 5th time today. He was running 18th.
Tired. He had a tire problem.
This is Jeff Burton looking back at him as he spun coming off of turn 3 and onto the apron, bringing the caution out. We'll have a restart when we return to Atlanta.
He fills the hole. Nope, he's still working on it. But right here, look at this push.
Whoa, problem for the 7. He's going to get into the wall. They wreck in turn 3. Cole Custer, Herbst, Ryan Sieg all involved as well. The 19 of Taylor Gray and the 7 of Allgaier.
39 of Sieg down the track as well with a ton of damage.
Good, he blew a tire. We just side drafted and got together.
We heard the radio. Somebody said they side drafted and got together.
Remember, Sieg was just outside the top 12. And such a fast race car here in his home state.
It's a bumper cover on the roof.
Big push coming from the 19. Yeah, I don't know. It's like the 7 of Allgaier was trying to stay against the 00 of Custer to side draft him or something. Contact there. We heard somebody say something about a tire down. I don't know if. Let's ride along.
I mean, the 17, it looks like there's some contact, and the 17 goes straight, but I can't tell if he's coming up the track because of a handling issue or a tire going down. I mean, right there, right? He needs to be turning left, and he's going up the racetrack into the 19, into the 00.
It's really odd looking.
That contact right there, could that have done something to the right front of the 7?
Yeah, it's hard to say. And with so much contact, it'll be interesting to see what Allgaier says.
I wonder, you know, Allgaier entering the corner that close to Custer, did it just pull the air off the car? You know, did it just get loose right here? And now he can't turn it. It's just cars really in close proximity to each other.
Right along with Austin Hill.
Well, he wasn't expecting it. He had his.
Yeah.
So watch the 19 here. I don't know. It's hard for me to point a finger and say obviously somebody did something wrong, but just not real sure who it is. So the 7 checked up because there was contact, right? And then the 19 got into him, but the 19 didn't get into him for any other reason than the 7 checking up. Watch how slow the 7 gets right there.
Yeah, you mentioned it. The 7 should be turning left there, and he's going straight.
And slowing
up toward
down.
the wall, yeah. A lot of contact right there. And then the 7 into the wall, collecting the 19. Let's listen into the 7 radio.
We're wrecking. 19 cut my right front, going down into the corner. Turned in the right front.
Well, there you have it. Yeah, that's why he was having to.
Sideways, and now here comes Chandler Smith. He's to the inside for the lead. No help behind him, though. Corey Heim is going to push the 21. 1 lap to go, presented by Credit One Bank. Chandler Smith dropping back. Now he's going to fight for 4th. Here comes the 26 on the outside, Corey Heim. And he gets sideways. Parker Kligerman with a run. A.J. Allmendinger, fresher tires, also coming into the picture. The last time through 3 and 4. The 21 pulling away. Austin Hill's going to do it again. He'll sweep Atlanta. 4 wins at this racetrack.
That's very clear information about.
Whoa! That's a huge one for Larson. That car just snapped on him and went straight into the wall.
Hold on to it, hold on. Yeah, I don't know if I blew a tire or what.
That just snapped in a split second.
Yeah.
You heard Kyle on the radio, so I don't know if I blew a tire or what. Cliff Daniels has a look of concern on his face, and understandably so. That was purely violent. And thankfully, Kyle is out.
Everything looks normal. Back end comes around, and then it went to the right. Now, it appears to me. Oh, who hit him? Who was that got it? That was Briscoe. 2 playoff drivers. So that's one of 2 things. So watch this thing. The back end starts around first. And when it starts around, he overcorrects it. And that is that is very easy to do in this race car.
Just listen.
Oh.
So he mentions whether he blows a tire. I was wondering right front, but right there, it's clear it gets loose. Kyle Larson knows that as well. So I wonder if he's wondering if the right rear tire started to go down, which is what made the car loose. Kyle obviously has a clear understanding that it was the back first, and then it turns right. And then this big hit by the 14. You mentioned it, Diff. So good to see Kyle Larson out of the race car. That is an absolute gigantic impact, both with the front and then a secondary hit in the rear.
And the Darlington winner, Chase Briscoe. Oh, we got a big crash. And it's John Hunter Nemechek. Down the back stretch. 4th caution of the day flies. We're only just getting into a rhythm in stage 3.
Yeah, I'm good.
Heavy damage on the 42.
The 21 of Harrison Burton on the bottom. Harrison starts up the racetrack, but before that happened, John Hunter gets loose. It just comes around on him. Contact in the wall. His day is done.
Very fortunate to slide right across in traffic. I think that was the 51 of Haley, perhaps, trying to recover from that penalty.
It's a big impact right there. That shows you, we keep talking about the drivability of the race cars, and that shows you he was up there all by himself, and it just simply came around on him.
Here's the Toyota onboard of Denny Hamlin. Saw it all unfold right in front of him. So unfortunately, it's not a championship run. We've got an issue here. Blaney, and then Truex is involved. 2 playoff drivers. Remember, I was telling you about all the playoff drivers who had issues. Add 2 more to it.
I think it's fortunate that that's all that happened in that. That could have been huge.
Burton up high. Noah Gragson's in there.
Yeah, that's behind the accident.
That's Shane Van Gisbergen in the wall, and Haley.
Yeah, that's behind the accident. They were all slowing down. Here's the accident.
The 12 of Blaney, the 17 of Buescher side by side. Oh, the 17 gets loose, comes right up the racetrack, catches the 12 of Blaney right in the left rear. The 12 comes down and catches the 19.
A little bit like we saw with Kyle Larson, where when he got loose, he overcorrected. And honestly, he got saved by that car being on the outside of him. If he hadn't hit that car, he would have. Watch this. So Blaney's on the outside, gets loose. That slowed him down and made it so the back of the car hit the wall. That was a fortunate break for Buescher.
Blaney was riding along. Watch this. He thinks everything's fine, and then all of a sudden.
Not fortunate for him.
Yes.
But, you know, and Truex behind it, he got caught up in it.
One of the big winners in this is, look down to the left, Suarez. He avoids it, ducks through down on that low side.
Yeah, the 20
zooms on by.
20 of Bell as well, to your point, Diff, right? Look at the 12 right here. Look at the 20 of Christopher Bell. They're banging in front of him, and he kind of sneaks by. Joey Logano as well.
Yeah.
How was that not a bigger wreck? I mean, that was very fortunate. That wasn't a big one that took out about 10 or 12 cars.
Yeah, I think Chris Buescher has the most damage, although he was the cause of the accident. Take a look from Logano. He's going to sneak by on the flat. Watch this. And bang, he gets back in the gas.
Buescher's driven his car to the garage, so his day is done. That's a big contact right there with Truex. You have to wonder if there's any damage on the right front. He hit him square in the wheel, it looked like.
It's not the question for me is there any damage?
Owen Suarez. Here comes Blaney. Boom. Big hit. Chastain's helping his teammate. And there's a caution. Caution is out. And it's Noah Gragson. We're going to go into a little bit of overtime here in Atlanta. Almost got there, Jeff.
It just.
And instead it went to 3 wide for the lead. As you see what happens, there's a stack up. Looks like the 21 of Harrison Burton got into Cindric and then came down, got the 10, pitched the 10 of Noah Gragson around right here. That's just kind of beating and banging. And Noah gets the worst end of the deal. But as I was saying, that's a run that you wouldn't see at Daytona and Talladega. You would, but it may take 2 miles.
Yeah.
Here in Atlanta, a quarter mile. I mean, these cars go from slowing down to speeding up just so quickly.
Yeah, watch Harrison Burton. He's in the side of the 2 car. He's got the 2 car jacked up. He makes contact with the wall almost, and then Harrison comes down and gets into the right rear quarter panel of the 10 car.
We're that close to the white flag. You see, though, big hit into the inside wall. Too bad Noah's been running pretty decent. You see another car up against the wall in the back. I think that's Eric Jones in that green and white 43 car.
That's just nobody willing to lift, right? Coming
right?
to the end of the race.
Let's go back to racing to finish this one off. Logano and Suarez. How big is that push from Blaney for his Team Penske teammate? And then the Trackhouse boys are working together. Chastain is pushing Suarez. Don't take your eyes off the 20 of Christopher Bell either. First of the Hendrick Chevys is the 48 of Alex Bowman. Logano ahead. Suarez fighting back. Here they come to the white flag. Logano gets another little shove from Ryan Blaney. And the 2 Penske's clear Suarez. But Daniel's not giving up. It's Joey Logano clearly out in front. But is there a late run? Remember how this finished. Chastain into the wall, but he's able to keep it going. Has Suarez got something special like he did in February? They're crashing into the wall. Caution comes out of the checker. They're flying everywhere, and Hamlin is involved. Joey Logano prevails in this first playoff race.
That's how we start the playoff, boys! Yeah!
His crew chief, Paul Wolf, told us he's a big-time, big-pressure racer, and he delivers.
Hell of a job there, Joe.
21, a playoff car involved. The 11 of Hamlin, another playoff car involved in the wreck.
Yeah, the 11 rode around all day, got no stage points, ended up finishing 24th. It's going to come out here.
This is how it all went down, coming to the checkered flag. That was the Chastain hit, first of all, but watch further back.
Well, it continues on with Chastain. Right there, there's contact, and this is where they all get stacked up. Nowhere to go. So I think this is a push gone wrong with the 1.
Yeah, the 9 kind of got caught from whoever was behind him. As you pointed out, pushes kind of stacked up, and then the 47's pushing the 23, who gets turned around, and then the 11 gets into, I mean, it's just chaos back there, everybody in the gas.
And that's what starts it all.
Wow. And so the day just didn't go the way that the 11 had hoped, but it certainly went the way that the 22 team of Team Penske hoped.
It's working. I'll take all of them. How's that sound?